Every season, new stories are written. A freshman gets her first varsity start, a senior scores his final touchdown, a community rallies behind the kid who wears their town's name across their chest. When your business sponsors the MyFM Media Local Sports Network, you help make these moments possible, and you help shine a light on these athletes who represent the best of our hometowns.
In the shotgun right now is Brousseau with two running backs near him. Brousseau is going to look to throw. He'll fire it deep down the field. He's got a man open, and it's caught on the run to the 30, to the 25, to the 20. Still going to the 15 with a man on his back, and he's taken down finally.
Back up top for Antonio, 15 on the shot clock. Working the ball to O'Neal. Brady O'Neal pulls the three from the opposite side. It's just as good.
One man in motion, the handoff to Buentello. He lost the football. The ball's in the end zone. It's recovered in the end zone.
Kelly Logan, low zone goal line, pops down in front, tip play, and they score! Max Kraus ties it up!
Trouble with the snap again, it's fumbled, and Baypath recovers it at the 34-yard line.
Which they do so perfectly right to Jamie Valarelli. He's been all over the ice. Just the first minute of this contest, makes a nice move going towards the goal. Backhand in front, they score!
Now dish down low to O'Neal, out to the top, Consigli straight away, three, it's good. They finally hit their first one, and it's Consigli, 23-19.
Trying to get out was the Beavers, but it's intercepted. Ethan Oliva couldn't get it out. Quick shot, they score! Blake Hannon with an absolute snipe in the high slot. The deadlock is broken, it's 1-0 Littleton.
As now they're pounding in the red zone. They're going to go ahead and hand this one off to Weber, who tries to chug his way along, breaks a couple tackles, he's still plowing through, dives into the end zone, touchdown, Panthers!
Support the teams, celebrate the athletes, and stay atop of the mind with thousands of passionate local families who love our coverage. Join the businesses that invest in our community's future. Visit myfmdigital.com to book a meeting today.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Fit and Field on the campus of the College of the Holy Cross in Worcester, Massachusetts. It is day 2 of the 2026 American Legion Northeast Regional Tournament. And welcome to the MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network presented by Campers in RV, your one-stop shop for RV sales, parts, and service. Andrew McCarthy joined alongside by Dylan Patemry. It's an elimination game. Franklin Post 75, their backs are up against the wall against Upper Deck Post 14 out of Cumberland, Rhode Island. Dylan, both these teams losing yesterday, but let's start with Franklin Post 75. They were undefeated 22-0, but they had to go up against the New Hampshire state champions out of Bedford, New Hampshire. They were also undefeated 21-0 for them entering into that game. Someone had to lose, and it was just Franklin's time to take the L in that one.
Yeah, as you mentioned, someone had to take the loss on the day, and it was Franklin, and it was quite a convincing win. As they lost 11-0 Franklin and really couldn't get much offensive production going for themselves. And even on the mound, Ethan Edmonds, who's their number 2 guy, he sort of struggled throughout the game. And I believe it was 7 runs in the first 2 innings that were given up. And when you find yourself behind that much early on, it's tough to try and claw your way out of it.
Franklin Post 75 only mustering 2 hits across the entire game and committing 4 errors in the field. Very unlike Post 75 from what we saw over the course of the regular season and Massachusetts State Tournament. Meeting at the plate right now between coaches, umpires, and Legion officials as well. On the other hand, Cumberland, Rhode Island, Upper Deck Post 14, they lost to the Vermont State champions out of Essex Junction by a score of 4-1. Pretty close, but Vermont just really knew how to hit. 4 runs on 13 hits. Upper Deck only mustered 1 run on 7 hits. Bit of a closer game, but this Cumberland, Rhode Island team is a team that is consistently in this regional tournament year after year.
Yeah, they had their chances. They got runners on the base, but couldn't quite produce. It took them all the way to the 7th inning before they were able to put their run across the board. And so 2 teams that kind of struggled offensively just yesterday, and now they're going to come up against each other with backs up against the wall. And we'll see if these teams can maybe get the offenses going a little bit earlier to try and get themselves ahead.
Both teams backs against the wall. Elimination game. Lose and your season is over. Win and you get to fight another day here at Fit and Field in Worcester. Let's get into tonight's Colors of the Game as some pregame ceremonies are officially beginning. Colors of the Game are brought to you by the Embroidery Bar in Milford, your local custom embroidery and t-shirt design shop in Milford. Let's start with the road team, Upper Deck Post 14. They got some Texas Longhorns colors they do, Dylan. They got the white jerseys with the burnt orange sleeve with the white pants and the white hats with the UD on the forefront of the hat representing Upper Deck for Upper Deck Post 14. And for Franklin Post 75, they got the navy blue jerseys with the white striping on the sleeve with some baby blue trim on there as well. Looks like they got some, I believe that is white pants with the blue stripe on the side and the baby blue hat with 75 across the forefront of it. Teams are now taking the baselines as we're introducing starting lineups. We will get back to those starting lineups when we return here on the MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network presented by Campers Inn RV, your one-stop shop for RV sales, parts, and service.
Andrew McCarthy with MyFM 101.3. Welcome to the Coach's Corner, presented by Dean Bank, live here from Fit and Field. I'm here with Franklin American Legion Post 75 head coach Tyler Pascarosa. Coach, uncharted territory for you guys after the loss yesterday. What's the key to getting the team refocused?
Yeah, that's the best part about a double elimination tournament, right? If you lose, you still got another shot to prove yourself the next day. So the message is just to have a short-term memory. Don't let one loss turn into two. You know, put that bad game behind us and move on. Hopefully come out flying this morning.
Team only mustered 2 hits yesterday. What did you not like from plate approaches, and what are you looking to change today?
Yeah, I thought we just gave in a little bit at the end and weren't really tough or competitive. We're obviously facing a really good pitcher, probably one of the best times we faced all season, but I would have liked to see more, fouling off pitches, just fighting in the box, and we didn't see that. So hopefully they got the message after the game, and we're ready to go today.
With this being an elimination game, how aggressive are you looking to be with your backs against the ball, both on the base paths, using the bullpen, plate approaches?
Yeah, like I said, we're going to come out flying. We have there's no tomorrow here. A lot of these guys could be their last time playing together, so we don't want to leave anything on the field, really. Just hopefully have a better effort today.
Franklin Post 75 in the 2026 American Legion Northeast Regional Tournament, taking on Upper Deck Post 14 out of Cumberland, Rhode Island, 11 a.m. today on MyFM 101.3.
One last thing, I just want to give a shout out to my friends who are golfing right now. I hope they get sunburned, and just make sure we watch Joe Salvucci. He probably has a couple extra balls in his pocket that he's going to drop out there.
Let's hope he doesn't have to use too many golf balls out there. Coach, thank you for your time.
You got it.
When it's time to celebrate, Franklin knows where to go. The Rome Restaurant. Proudly sponsoring Franklin Post 75, The Rome has been bringing friends and families together with great food and hometown hospitality for generations. They're honored to support the players, coaches, and fans who make Franklin baseball so special. From everyone at The Rome, best of luck in the tournament. The Rome Restaurant and Franklin Post 75, a winning team for Franklin. Take it home from The Rome.
Next 9 Up in Franklin is proud to sponsor Franklin Post 75 Legion Baseball, home of the Bluebirds Softball League and Franklin Bulldogs Baseball League. Next 9 Up is dedicated to helping athletes take their game to the next level through quality training, development, and a passion for sports. We're honored to support the players, coaches, and families who make Franklin Post 75 a tradition of excellence. From all of us at Next 9 Up, best of luck in the tournament, and go Franklin Post 75.
At GNC Plumbing and Heating, community means everything. That's why we're proud to sponsor Franklin Post 75. As a local plumbing, heating, and cooling company serving Franklin, Bellingham, and surrounding towns, we're committed to helping our neighbors at home and supporting local youth in our community. Best of luck to Franklin Post 75 this tournament. From all of us at GNC Plumbing and Heating, we're behind you all the way. Let's go, Post 75. GNC Plumbing and Heating. Big enough to tackle the toughest jobs, small enough to treat you like family.
Dean Bank congratulates the Franklin Legion team as they continue their journey towards the World Series in North Carolina. Since 1889, Dean Bank has been the community bank partner of Franklin and beyond. From checking and savings accounts to mortgages, vehicle loans, and small business loans, Dean Bank is sure to have the right product for all your financial needs. We love to hear the community say, Dean Bank is our bank. Visit deanbank.com to open your account today. Dean Bank is member FDIC, member DIF, and an equal housing lender.
Welcome back to Fit and Field in Worcester, Massachusetts. National Anthem has just concluded playing. And special thanks to Tyler Pascarosa for taking the time to speak with me on our Coach's Corner presented by Dean Bank. Let's get into tonight's starting lineups now, Dylan. Or I say tonight, it's today. It's only 11 a.m. Let's start with Upper Deck Post 14. Leading off for the Rhode Island State Champions is going to be the left fielder wearing number 18, Carter Harris. Batting second is the shortstop Micah Cousineau wearing number 3. Batting third is Jake Leonardo, the second baseman wearing number 9. Batting cleanup is the third baseman Cam Slack. Batting fifth is the first baseman Josh Lyon. Batting sixth is the right fielder Jack DeCairo. Batting seventh is the designated hitter Joe Greenless. Batting eighth is the catcher Tyler Linehan. And batting ninth, the center fielder Carson Mellon. And on the mound for Upper Deck Post 14 is going to be Pat Munger. However, starting lineup for Franklin Post 75 is going to be Gavin Hennigan leading things off, the left fielder wearing number 6. He's out left. Batting second is the center fielder Sean Kryzak. Batting third is the shortstop Jack Sullivan. Batting cleanup is the third baseman Pat Louisi. Batting fifth is the first baseman Ethan Edmonds. He's now playing first after he was the starting pitcher yesterday. Batting sixth is the catcher Owen Miller. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, Zach Weiner. Batting eighth, the second baseman, Joe Gogan. And batting ninth is the right fielder, Henry George. And let's talk about the man on the mound for Franklin Post 75, Dylan. That is Colin Mont, the Massachusetts State Tournament MVP. He gets the nod here today.
Yeah, it's not surprising. I think they were always going to go with him today regardless. I think yesterday they wanted to try and get the win out of the first game with Edmonds and save Mont, but obviously, backs against the wall, you're going to have to go with him. We saw him twice in that Massachusetts State tournament. In the first game, he was absolutely lights out, went the complete game, only allowed the 1 run, and then in the championship game, once again, he allowed 2 runs, and they tied it up, did Milford, but he was still absolutely electric in that game, and there's a reason why he was the MVP.
First of 3 games getting ready to kick off here at Fitton Field. Cumberland, Rhode Island versus Franklin, Massachusetts in an elimination game. It is win or go home for both of these teams. 2 more to play later on today. We won't be covering them, but if you want to take a watch, come on down to Fitton Field on campus of the College of the Holy Cross in Worcester, Massachusetts. Essex, Vermont versus Sanford, Maine at 2 o'clock, and then Bedford, New Hampshire versus the host, Shrewsbury, post 375 later today. Carter Harris sees the first pitch from Colin Mont up high for ball 1.
Yeah, and the other thing you'll notice with Mont is he works very, very quickly out of the stretch.
Already comes set. Here's the 1-0 well inside for ball 2. Quickly working with some pace up on the mound. You can tell he's amped up, ready to go. The Division I pitcher playing for the University of Sacred Heart. This one is popped up, potentially playable in foul territory. Miller and Edmonds are trying to get to it, and Edmonds is the one who makes the grab right in front of the upper deck dugout for the first out.
Yeah, it was an interesting one. Him and Miller were coming in close to each other, and I think on that one, Edmonds would have the better opportunity to make the play. Miller was still going for it, and just reaching out the glove to his left side was Edmonds able to make somewhat of a snow cone grab and record the first out.
It's going to bring up Micah Cousineau, the shortstop for Upper Deck Post 14. He went 0 for 4 in the game yesterday versus Essex Junction, Vermont. Takes the first pitch, a fastball in the outside corner for strike 1. Colin Mont already gets the signal, comes set, the windup, and fires well outside for ball 1. Counts evened up.
Yeah, nice job trying to hit that outside corner once again. Just missing, but holding off there is Cousineau.
Mont delivers the 1-1. Hard hit to the shortstop Sullivan. He scoops up, fires over the first in time for out number 2.
A nice quick 2 outs right there for Mont and the Franklin defense. Obviously, we know they had 4 errors yesterday. Sullivan having 2 of those just the other night. It's good for him to get that nice little routine ground ball to get themselves going.
Jake Leonardo's turn. He went 2 for 4 yesterday with an RBI. He was responsible for batting in the 1 run for Upper Deck. First pitch he sees is lined potentially into the gap, but it hangs up a little bit too long, and Gavin Hennigan tracks it down for the 3rd out of the top of the 1st. To the bottom we go at Fit and Field on the MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network, presented by Campers NRV, your one-stop shop for RV sales, parts, and service.
Peel Microspa is proud to sponsor Franklin Post 75 Baseball. From facials and skincare treatments to waxing, beauty services, and spray tans, Peel is dedicated to help you look and feel your best. We're passionate about supporting the athletes, families, and community, and honored to support the tournament and the outstanding players competing. From all of us at Peel Microspa in Franklin, we wish Franklin Post 75 a great tournament and continued success. Peel Microspa in Franklin. We have everything you need to look and feel your best.
Reardon HVAC is proud to support Franklin Post 75. As a family-owned company serving our community for generations, Reardon HVAC believes in supporting local athletes, teamwork, and hometown pride. Whether you need air conditioning, heating, or HVAC maintenance, trust a team that's committed to keeping Franklin comfortable year-round. From everyone at Reardon HVAC, good luck to all the players and families participating in the tournament. Reardon HVAC, proudly serving Franklin and surrounding communities.
Welcome back to Fit and Field on the MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network, presented by Campers NRV, your one-stop shop for RV sales, parts, and service. Andrew McCarthy joined alongside by Dylan Patemry. A really quick 1-2-3 inning for Colin Mont. Just 7 pitches for him, Dylan.
Yeah, it was really quick and efficient, and that's what you get out of Mont. He's going to throw strikes. He won't really throw too many outside of the zone right there, and unfortunately, if a guy throws strikes, you can't really work up his pitch count. You got to swing at them, and that's exactly how he operates.
The weather getting pretty hot here in Worcester, Massachusetts. It is currently 86 degrees and very little cloud cover in sight. It's only going to get hotter as the day goes on, up towards 90 at around the 3 o'clock range. And it's going to be a hot one for these players to be dealing with, Dylan, but right now, let's see if Franklin can get off to a hot start with the bats. Hennigan, Kryzak, Jack Sullivan due up for post 75.
Yeah, it is definitely a warm day out. Not ideal for those playing baseball, but you got to work your way through it.
First pitch to Hennigan from Pat Munger is up high for ball 1 off the fastball.
The humidity here in Massachusetts the past 2 days now has been very, very out of my liking.
Yeah, it's been gross, to put it bluntly. It's like a wet blanket outside that you just can't seem to get off you. It's just sticking to you. Counts now 2-0 for Gavin Hennigan after that fastball was high and outside. Pat Munger comes set. He winds and fires just above the lettering, and it's a 3-0 count for Hennigan. Hennigan batting .396 prior to this tournament starting, including drawing 20 walks. He knows how to get on base. He's in a 3-0 count now. Takes that one, but it's in there for strike 1.
Yeah, that one was really close right there. It just about hit the outside of the plate. Even Hennigan was a little questionable on that 3-0.
See Hennigan with the yellow X on his batting helmet for Zavarian Brothers. This one jams him inside, but it's fouled on the third base side.
Yeah, he almost was able to muster that one over the third baseman's head and fair, but again, just going foul there and working his way back Munger to a full count.
Indeed, it was 3-0. Here comes the payoff pitch. Munger comes set. He fires low and away, ball 4. Hennigan draws a leadoff walk.
And as you were mentioning, Hennigan, a very patient hitter up there, and that's why you put him in the leadoff hole to see if he can get on base, and it doesn't matter how, just that he does.
And here is Sean Kryzak, the team leader in RBIs with 24. Batting .464 prior to this tournament starting.
Getting the signal from his coach. We'll see if they choose to play small ball or not.
Indeed they will. Runner goes. Pitch was low and away for a ball, and the throw was well wide. So Hennigan steals second on the first pitch to Kryzak.
Yeah, that was just a perfect pitch to go on, as you mentioned, low and away, and then the throw there from Linehan was high, and always being safe there is Hennigan.
So now a runner in scoring position. Sean Kryzak shows bunt now and fouls it behind him. And I talked with head coach Tyler Pascarosa earlier. How aggressive is he looking to be with their backs against the wall? And already we're seeing it. A stolen base and then a bunt from their best power hitter. Not even one out recorded in the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, just trying your best to move that runner up a couple more feet to make it easier to get a run across the board.
Corners are in, especially the first baseman, Josh Lyon. This one is bunted down the third base line and just tails foul before it reaches the third base bag. And now it's a 2-strike count for Sean Kryzak. Effectively eliminates the bunt chance.
Yeah, on that one, it was a smart play by Slack. The way that one popped up, it was always going to curl out past the third baseline. So good job by Slack, just waiting and then touching it once it moved foul.
Now the count is 1-2 for Sean Kryzak. Runner on second is Gavin Hennigan. Still nobody out, and the corner infielders have retreated slightly. Here's the 1-2. Kryzak lets that one go outside. Counts evened up at 2.
Good eye there from Kryzak on the fastball. Just pulled a little bit there by Munger.
Munger comes set. Leonardo keeping Hennigan honest. Here's the pitch. Kryzak fouls it off to stay alive. 2-2.
Yeah, even though Kryzak showed bunt, he's a very, very solid hitter in there at the box. He's not going to allow for an easy out. Foul tip in that one, keeping himself alive.
Munger plants his feet, sends the pitch through. Did he go? He did not. Full count. Good check swing by Kryzak on a off-speed pitch that tailed away from him.
Yeah, Munger placed that perfectly. It looked like it was coming across the plate, and at the last second, that slider pulled away, but Kryzak able to hold off.
3-2. Popped up. Shallow right field. DeCairo is there. He'll make the catch. Hennigan thinks about going to third. He will not. He'll stay put at second.
Yeah, probably a smart move right there. It would have been a tough play with the shallow pop out to DeCairo. Also maybe just seeing what the arm of DeCairo looks like to try and scout for later.
Jack Sullivan, also 0 for 3 yesterday, but he was 421 at the dish prior to this tournament starting. 28 singles hit this year. He'd love another one, potentially sending home Gavin Hennigan for the first run of the ball game. Takes a fastball outside for ball 1 to start the at-bat.
Yeah, just noticing the giant gap there for the left-hander into right center field.
Runner goes. Hennigan had a little bit of a late jump, and he is hosed at third. He's out for out number 2.
Yeah, that was a really aggressive choice to steal right there. It didn't really get too good of a jump, and it was a fastball straight to the catcher, and Linehan gunned him down.
And now Sullivan, with nobody on the bases, swings and misses. It was actually foul tipped. Regardless, it's strike 1.
Yeah, so now Munger has the chance to get out of this inning by only facing 3 batters.
The 2-1 from Munger. Well outside for ball 3.
Had some trouble trying to keep the ball inside the zone, but let's see if he can get himself back locked in.
3-1 pitch. Fouled off. And even though Hennigan has now been caught stealing, trying to go for third base, so far these Franklin batters have been driving up this pitch count of Pat Munger a good little bit. This is now another full count for a Franklin batter. Here's the payoff pitch to Kryzak. Hard hit to the second baseman, Leonardo. He boots it. He can't pick it up, and Sullivan will reach on the error.
Yeah, that one was bounced up into his chest, and it just got away from him. And if he had seen where it had gone, he probably still could have recovered and made the throw, but he lost where the ball had located, and by the time he got it, already there at first base was Sullivan.
Brings up Pat Luisi, the cleanup hitter, batting .356. 17 RBI this year. Drawn 8 walks. Hits this one. First pitch he sees softly hit right to the shortstop, Cousineau, who tags second to get the force out, eliminating Sullivan from the base paths and ending the inning. 0-0 after 1 inning of play here at Fitton Field on the campus of the College of the Holy Cross on the MyFM local sports and recreation network, presented by Campers in RV, your one-stop shop for RV sales, parts, and service.
Hey, it's Anthony from the Embroidery Bar in Milford, and this summer it's all about looking your best. From custom t-shirts, hats, and shorts to tumblers, keychains, flasks, bottle openers, and more, we've got everything you need to stand out at the beach, the cookout, or wherever summer takes you. Need something unique? No problem. If you can think it, we can create it. Whether it's for your business, your team, or just for fun, we'll help bring your ideas to life with custom designs that fit your style. Stop by the Embroidery Bar, 189 West Street in Milford, and get ready to make this your best looking summer yet.
Franklin Duncan is proud to support Franklin Post 75 and their journey through the American Legion Northeast Regional Tournament. With 3 convenient locations in Franklin, Duncan is your hometown stop for fresh coffee, breakfast sandwiches, their famous donuts, baked goods, and your favorite hot or iced beverages. Whether you're fueling up before the game or celebrating a big win afterward, Franklin Duncan has everything you need to keep your day running. Franklin Post 75 runs on Duncan.
Nothing brings a community together like hometown baseball. Caesars Barbershop is proud to sponsor the Franklin Post 75 Legion Tournament and wishes all the players the best of luck. Whether you're getting ready for game day or just need a fresh new look, stop by Caesars Barbershop in Franklin for quality cuts and friendly service. Thanks to Caesars for supporting local baseball and our community. Caesars Barbershop, where Franklin comes to look its best.
Welcome back to Fit and Field. Cam Slack took an off-speed pitch for strike one. Colin Mont delivers the 0-1 pitch, lifts it up high, shallow right field. Gogan is there at the edge of the dirt, makes the catch for the first out on the MyFM local sports and recreation network presented by Campers and RV, your one-stop shop for RV sales, parts, and service. And already, that's just a 2-pitch at-bat for that Colin Mont was able to record the first out on.
Yeah, he's going to work quick. He's going to throw strikes. You got to get hits to try and drive up that count.
Josh Lyon takes a fastball outside corner for strike one. We've seen so much good things out of Colin Mont, especially over the state tournament. He's dealing now. Here's the 1-0. This one's popped up foul over to the protective netting behind the backstop for strike two. He is just dealing to start this game.
Yeah, and the key with him, and if you're hitting up against him, you got to know that you're going to have to be an aggressive hitter. And the key is you want to try and maybe see that first pitch and swing at it.
Here's the 0-2. Just outside, ball one.
A good eye right there from Lyon, holding off on that one, just tailing outside the zone.
1-2 to Josh Lyon now. Softly hit off the end of the barrel, lofted over Gogan's head. That's going to land in outfield grass. First hit of the ball game belongs to Josh Lyon with a single.
I don't even think Lyon was sure if he wanted to swing at that one as he just kind of waved his bat. And as you mentioned, he was able to just soften. I don't even think he swung all the way through, maybe about 70% of the way, but it gets the job done as he pokes it just into shallow right center field.
Yeah, a little bit of a half-hearted swing by Lyon, but now here's DeCairo. Takes a fastball up high for ball one. Now with a runner on, Josh Lyon at first. Mont comes set. He works with pace. Fastball inside corner. Counts evened up at 1.
Yeah, really nice pitch there. After going outside and high, now comes back in.
The 1-1. Good frame try by Miller, but it was just off the outside edge of the plate. Ball 2. Counts 2-1.
Can't get the frame call if you don't try it.
The 2-1. Up high for ball 3. And the first time we've seen Mont in a 3-ball count today.
Yeah, it looks like he just kind of lost his motion there as he kind of pulled it and it fell up high.
Swing and a miss by DeCairo. Counts evened up, and the Sacred Heart Pioneers worked the full count now. Here's the payoff pitch for DeCairo. Just missed off the outside corner. Again, Owen Miller tried to get the frame call. Couldn't get it. First walk issued out today by Colin Mont.
Yeah, that one looked really close. I think maybe it missed down low because I thought it might have clipped that edge of the plate. But now a dangerous situation here and a chance for them to take advantage.
So 2 on, 1 gone here in the top of the second inning. Joe Greenlist, the designated hitter. He's up for Upper Deck Post 14. First pitch he sees is popped up. In fair territory, playable. Coming in is Luisi. He can make the catch. Infield fly rule was in effect, so Greenless is out regardless.
And I think it was just the positioning of the sun. As I saw Mont signaling upwards, it's 11 o'clock. The sun is basically directly above them and gone in the eyesight of him. And I think even for Luizzi, luckily, infield fly rule intact, so nobody advances.
2 runners on and only 1 out. That is textbook infield fly rule. So Greenless is retired, brings up Linehan, who fouls off a fastball on the first pitch for strike 1.
So Mont with a chance to get out of this one. 2-runner jam.
Linehan, the catcher. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Up high for ball 1. Here at Fitton Field, this ballpark has been the host of this Northeast Regional Tournament for American Legion for a good part of, I want to say, over 5 years now. It's usually Shrewsbury Post 397 who hosts it every year, the Vaccaro family. Here's the 1-1 pitch, swung on and missed on a half-hearted swing by Linehan. Counts now 1-2.
Yeah, nice slider right there from Mont. Does a really good job about using that on the right-handed batters to tail away from them outside. Gets him the chase.
Mont waiting for the call, comes set. Checks the runner at second twice. Here's the pitch, well up high for ball 2, counts even.
Yeah, Mont's kind of started to slow down just a little bit in his rotation here as taking more time on the bump.
Works quickly here, swung on and missed by Linehan for strike 3. First strikeout today for Colin Mont, and it ends the inning, and he leaves 2 runners stranded. To the bottom of the second we go on the MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network, presented by Campers in RV, your one-stop shop for RV sales, parts, and service.
Go Franklin Post 75
It's hot.
from the team at Body Fit Training, Franklin Village.
Championships aren't built in a single game. They're built through hard work, consistency, and showing up every day. That's the same philosophy at Body Fit Training Fitness. With coach-led strength and conditioning classes for all fitness levels, BFT helps you train with purpose, build for the long game, and become stronger together. Train for your next decade, not just your next workout. Body Fit Training at Franklin Village. Follow us on Instagram or text our studio line to book your first class free. Proudly supporting Franklin Post 75 and the MyFM Local Sports Network.
At Haven Hot Chicken, we're proud to be part of the Franklin community and proud to support Franklin Post 75 as they compete on the diamond. Whether you're celebrating a big win or grabbing a meal with family and friends, Haven serves up Nashville hot chicken made the right way. Always antibiotic-free, marinated in buttermilk, and cooked fresh to order with 5 levels of heat to satisfy every appetite. Best of luck to Franklin Post 75 throughout the tournament. From all of us at Haven Hot Chicken, we're cheering you on every step of the way. Haven Hot Chicken, 477 West Central Street in Franklin. Born hot, raised right.
Welcome back to Fitton Field on the campus of the College of the Holy Cross and the MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network, presented by Campers in RV, your one-stop shop for RV sales, parts, and service. Edmonds, Miller, Weiner due up for Franklin Post 75. Now that Tyler Linehan has put back on his catcher's gear and has returned to behind the dish. Pat Munger going to return to work on the mound, and Ethan Edmonds is going to lead off. And Dylan, what does Franklin have to do to try and get this first run of the ball game here?
Yeah, I think that the key is that you want to be aggressive, but you don't want to be too aggressive. We saw that in the last inning where they tried to take third base, Hennigan. It was good to take second base, and then you got a runner there in scoring position, but you got to get that runner in scoring position, and you got to try and hit him in. So you got to try and get the runner there, and then you got to produce some hits. That's how you're going to get the runs across the board.
No hits in the first inning for Franklin. Let's see what Ethan Edmonds can do. Munger delivers the first pitch, a breaking ball that tucked back on the inside corner for strike 1.
It's not like Munger's been unhittable, as in they've been able to get bat to ball here.
Here's the 0-1, and Edmonds fouls this one off. This presentation of the MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network is brought to you in part by the Rome Restaurant in Franklin. Family run with homemade Italian cuisine at affordable prices. 0-2 now for Ethan Edmonds. Munger comes set, winds and fires, ripped down the third base line, but foul. Just in front of the Franklin dugout, Edmonds stays alive 0-2.
Yeah, that was a slider. He was trying to sneak in the front door, and Edmonds was there to turn on it, but just a little bit early as he hit over towards third base coach.
Edmonds steps out, reassesses, back in the right-handed batter's box. Munger, the righty, delivers. Bounces one for ball one.
It's the first one we've seen from either pitcher down in the dirt. Not the deepest of backstops, but good enough that if a runner's on base, they could definitely advance.
It is a curved backstop, so you got to read a bounce well if you're a catcher if it gets behind you. Here's the 1-2, swung on and missed by Edmonds. First strikeout recorded by Munger today, and it's for the first out of the bottom of the second inning.
Yeah, he waved through on that fastball that was high and maybe a little bit outside as well. As he's trying to protect the plate, Edmonds, but instead he gets sent back to the dugout.
Here's Owen Miller, the catcher. First pitch from Munger, down low for ball one. Owen Miller batting .397 prior to the start of this tournament.
This Franklin team throughout up to this point have been electric offensively.
The 1-0 is waved at and missed by Miller for a 1-1 count now.
But obviously yesterday they were held to just 2 hits.
So far they have 0. Miller, the 1-1, swung on and missed again. Now it's 1-2. Oh, Miller with 19 RBIs this season, but he's got no base runners to work with. Here's the 1-2, lifted sky high towards the parking lot, and I hope you have good car insurance.
Yeah, Miller trying to get things going here in this inning for Franklin. He's had a couple of big hacks so far at this at-bat.
1-2. Tucked back inside. What a slider by Pat Munger. That's a thing of beauty. He froze Owen Miller for strike 3. Got him looking.
Yeah, that one started heading towards Miller and then snapped back across the plate, and Miller knew it as soon as he saw it, but there was nothing he could do. Nasty.
2 up, 2 down for Pat Munger, both via the strikeout. Zach Weiner is going to try to flip the script here. With nobody on and 2 away, takes the first pitch outside for ball 1.
And when you have the ability to punch out a guy on both your fastball and your off speed, that's how you know you've got an elite pitcher on the mound.
Here's the 1-0 for Weiner. This one is lifted. Fair territory, left center field, and coming over is Harris to make the catch for the third out of the inning. 2 innings down here in Worcester, Massachusetts. Still scoreless, 0-0 between Upper Deck Post 14 and Franklin Post 75. We'll return on the MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network presented by Campers in RV. Your one-stop shop for RV sales, parts, and service.
When it's time to celebrate, Franklin knows where to go. The Rome Restaurant. Proudly sponsoring Franklin Post 75, The Rome has been bringing friends and families together with great food and hometown hospitality for generations. They're honored to support the players, coaches, and fans who make Franklin baseball so special. From everyone at The Rome, best of luck in the tournament. The Rome Restaurant and Franklin Post 75, a winning team for Franklin. Take it home from The Rome.
Next 9 Up in Franklin is proud to sponsor Franklin Post 75 Legion Baseball, home of the Bluebirds Softball League and Franklin Bulldogs Baseball League. Next 9 Up is dedicated to helping athletes take their game to the next level through quality training, development, and a passion for sports. We're honored to support the players, coaches, and families who make Franklin Post 75 a tradition of excellence. From all of us at Next 9 Up, best of luck in the tournament, and go Franklin Post 75.
At GNC Plumbing and Heating, community means everything. That's why we're proud to sponsor Franklin Post 75. As a local plumbing, heating, and cooling company serving Franklin, Bellingham, and surrounding towns, we're committed to helping our neighbors at home and supporting local youth in our community. Best of luck to Franklin Post 75 this tournament. From all of us at GNC Plumbing and Heating, we're behind you all the way. Let's go, Post 75. GNC Plumbing and Heating. Big enough to tackle the toughest jobs, small enough to treat you like family.
Back in Worcester, Massachusetts on the MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network presented by Campers in RV, your one-stop shop for RV sales, parts, and service. It is Carson Mellon, and then back around to the top of the order, Harris and Cousineau that are due up for Upper Deck Post 14. We're still scoreless here. Colin Mont allowed a couple of base runners in the last inning, but he left 2 runners stranded, and that's why we're still scoreless here. Let's see what Carson Mellon can do, the 9-hole batter. Here to lead off the top of the third inning. Takes that one well inside for ball 1 on the fastball.
Yeah, Mont's just started to teeter off just a little bit, but He bounced himself back in that second inning.
Here's the 1-0 up high for ball 2.
And you got to wonder how much the heat is contributing to that kind of breakdown. It can definitely have a big effect on players.
Yeah, they're going to have to stay hydrated over the course of this one. The 2-0 is into center field, a line drive, and Kryzak takes a little leap and makes the catch for the first out.
Yeah, I think he thought that one was going to drop a lot sooner as he was full speed coming on in and almost ran too far as he had to jump up for that one. Couldn't put on the brakes quick enough.
It was a hard hit line drive right to Kryzak. Brings up Carter Harris, the left fielder, popped up to first baseman in foul territory his first time up. Swings on the first pitch he sees. It's fouled behind him into the protective netting for strike 1.
Nice thing is that we don't got to worry about a foul ball in this booth.
No, it is not like Pheno Field in Milford where we could very well get a foul ball. I mean, I have seen one here before where it goes perfectly over the protective netting, just skims across the top and is able to maybe clip the press box, maybe not a window, but I used to work at this ballpark for a handful of years. Counts now 1-1 for Carter Harris.
Yeah, last thing we need is some broken glass again.
1-1 into left field. Hennigan barely has to move for the second out.
Yeah, that one just took about 1.5 steps in, Hennigan, and another fly out produced by Colin Mont.
If we're seeing any broken glass, it's probably a windshield from a car that's parked behind left field by the left field bleachers. Brings up Micah Cousineau, who grounded out to short back in the first inning. Mont comes set. Here's the pitch. Low and away for ball 1.
Yeah, Mont's starting to find his groove once again. I know he missed right there, but he's starting to find, he likes to work.
This one's hit hard. Left field, Hennigan trying to track it, and he will on the run. 1-2-3 goes Colin Mont. To the bottom of the third we go. Working with some pace here at Fitton Field on the MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network, presented by Campers in RV, your one-stop shop for RV sales, parts, and service.
Dean Bank congratulates the Franklin Legion team as they continue their journey towards the World Series in North Carolina. Since 1889, Dean Bank has been the community bank partner of Franklin and beyond. From checking and savings accounts to mortgages, vehicle loans, and small business loans, Dean Bank is sure to have the right product for all your financial needs. We love to hear the community say, Dean Bank is our bank. Visit deanbank.com to open your account today. Dean Bank is member FDIC, member DAF, and an equal housing lender.
Peel Microspa is proud to sponsor Franklin Post 75 Baseball. From facials and skincare treatments to waxing, beauty services, and spray tans, Peel is dedicated to help you look and feel your best. We're passionate about supporting the athletes, families, and community, and honored to support the tournament and the outstanding players competing. From all of us at Peel Microspa in Franklin, we wish Franklin Post 75 a great tournament and continued success. Peel Microspa in Franklin. We have everything you need to look and feel your best.
Reardon HVAC is proud to support Franklin Post 75. As a family-owned company serving our community for generations, Reardon HVAC believes in supporting local athletes, teamwork, and hometown pride. Whether you need air conditioning, heating, or HVAC maintenance, trust a team that's committed to keeping Franklin comfortable year-round. From everyone at Reardon HVAC, good luck to all the players and families participating in the tournament. Reardon HVAC, proudly serving Franklin and surrounding communities.
Joe Gogan takes a fastball outside for ball 1 on the MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network, presented by Campers in RV, your one-stop shop for RV sales, parts, and service. The 1-0 lifts into left field near foul territory, and Harris makes the catch on the run for the first down.
Again, both these pitchers working quick and getting quick outs so far and getting them, what's that now, 3 in a row popped out to left field?
4 in a row, actually. Harris and Cousineau for upper deck, and then, or actually, no, never mind. Because Zach Weiner flew out to left field to end the second inning, but then Mullen lined out to center. Whole lot of flyouts. This one's hard hit by Henry George into center field, and that one's caught by Mellon.
Well, people are making connections on the ball, but they're not hit well enough to find the gaps. They're just floating out there to the outfield.
This has been 3 pitches for Pat Munger and already 2 away. And back around to the top of the order, Gavin Hennigan, who's been the one batter who has made it to second base for Franklin Post 75 after he was walked and then stole second. Takes the first pitch, a fastball, right down the pipe for strike one.
I mean, he wants to take a pitch to try and calm things down, but when it's thrown right across the plate, it's so hard to lay off of.
Munger comes set. Here's the pitch, the 0-1. Same exact spot, strike two.
Wish I had a stopwatch going here for the change between innings.
The top of the third ended at 1:28, and then the 1 minute in between, and it's only been 2 minutes so far in this bottom of the third. Here's the 0-2. A soft chopper right to Munger. Flicks it over to first, and a 1-2-3 inning for Pat Munger. 3 innings through, and it's still 0-0 after a 1-3 ground out by Gavin Hennigan. We'll be back on the MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network presented by Campers in RV, your one-stop shop for RV sales, parts, and service.
Hey, it's Anthony from the Embroidery Bar in Milford, and this summer it's all about looking your best. From custom t-shirts, hats, and shorts to tumblers, keychains, flasks, bottle openers, and more, we've got everything you need to stand out at the beach, the cookout, or wherever summer takes you. Need something unique? No problem. If you can think it, we can create it. Whether it's for your business, your team, or just for fun, we'll help bring your ideas to life with custom designs that fit your style. Stop by the Embroidery Bar, 189 West Street in Milford, and get ready to make this your best looking summer yet.
Franklin Duncan is proud to support Franklin Post 75 and their journey through the American Legion Northeast Regional Tournament. With 3 convenient locations in Franklin, Duncan is your hometown stop for fresh coffee, breakfast sandwiches, their famous donuts, baked goods, and your favorite hot or iced beverages. Whether you're fueling up before the game or celebrating a big win afterward, Franklin Duncan has everything you need to keep your day running. Franklin Post 75 runs on Duncan.
We're blazing through this game here at Fitton Field in Worcester, Massachusetts on the MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network presented by Campers in RV, your one-stop shop for RV sales, parts, and service. Jake Leonardo, Cam Slack, Josh Lyon, 3-4-5, due up for Upper Deck Post 14. Colin Mont coming off a 1-2-3 inning, and then Pat Munger did the exact same thing in the bottom half of the third. These pitchers have just been rattling through batters.
They have been. You said we've been blazing through this one, and it's also blazing hot outside as well.
Makes me want to do the Blazing Challenge at Buffalo Wild Wings. Not sponsored by Buffalo Wild Wings. Leonardo takes a fastball inside for ball one. Have you ever tried the Blazing Challenge at B-Dubs?
I haven't tried the challenge. I have tried the wings, though.
That fastball's in the dirt for ball two.
I will say it was really bad. It wasn't as bad, though, as I thought they were going to be. I thought they were going to be a lot hotter than they were.
Here's the 2-0. Make that strike one. You a spicy food guy, Dylan?
I'm like a decent spicy. Like, I can't do like super, super hot, but I do enjoy a nice little spice.
You know the show Hot Ones, I'm assuming, right? It's the 2-1. Hard hit grounder right to the shortstop, Sullivan, over to first in time for the first out. Do you ever think about if you were on Hot Ones, how far you'd get?
Well, I think I could make it through it. Whether I would be dying or not is my true question, but I would commit to making it through because like some people on there, they just go through it and they have like no problems, and someone's on like the second wing and they're like dying there. So maybe we should try it sometime.
Here is Cam Slack, first pitch just outside for ball one.
Because you can order the sauces of the wings.
Yes, you can. Every single season they have a different lineup of sauces. A couple returners. Most of the time they're pretty consistent. That's the strike one. Count's now evened up.
Ty told us that Tom Holland was the first one to throw up doing that.
Was he really?
Interesting.
Here's the 1-1. Fouled behind him for strike two. Was it during that interview with John Bernthal? He did? Because I didn't watch that whole thing. He did after. He did after.
Interesting.
1-2 now for Cam Slack. Inside, counts evened up at 2.
The one thing after I did eat some of the blazing wings, though, I can tell you the experience afterwards, a.k.a. coming out the other end, is not fun.
I'm sure it's not fun at all. The 2-2, soft hit rolled over to Luisi, corner to corner, and that's out number 2.
We're just going to go around the infield of getting groundouts. It was to the pitcher to end last inning, and now we've had short and third base.
That was after we had a long stretch of flyouts to the outfield. Now it's Josh Lyon, the one batter who has a base hit today. He singled in the second inning. Takes that up high for ball one.
We're almost halfway through this fourth inning, and it's only been about 36 minutes so far.
Let's knock on wood.
It's been a pitcher's duel so far today.
The 1-0 is inside for ball two. Usually as soon as someone says that, we're going to have a half inning that takes about 45 minutes. Here's the 2-0. Well inside ball three, and Colin Mond is losing some command in this at-bat.
I would like to see somewhat of offensive production start to begin here.
Mont takes a breath, comes set, delivers. Right over the heart for strike one.
Yeah, line was taken the whole way there, as Mont had thrown 3 straight balls.
Cairo is on deck. Here's the 3-1. Well inside, ball four. And Colin Mont with a at-bat he'd like to forget about. He walks him on just 5 pitches, and Josh Lyon has reached base for the second time today.
Yeah, he just looked a little unsettled there, Mont. He missed a couple of pitches, a few actually, inside on the right-handed batter.
Now here's the man who was walked in the second inning, Jack DeCairo. That's well outside for ball one.
That one pulled down to the outside. He's going to work his way back here, Mont.
Count is now 1-0 for DeCairo. Same spot, just misses outside, ball two.
That one was really close, but yeah, just tailing on that outside again. Mont has now thrown 3 in a row.
Here's the 2-0 for DeCairo, up top, ball three. This presentation of the MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network is brought to you in part by Next 9 Up in Franklin, where young athletes turn into game changers. And Colin Mont has been losing control over these last 2 batters. It's 3-0 for DeCairo. He's got the red light. And it doesn't matter. Low and away for ball four. Back-to-back walks issued by Colin Mond.
Well, and here comes the big opportunity for Greenlist to try and break this one open with a run. He's able to make contact and lift one to the outfield into a gap. Would likely score Lyon.
A little bit of a conversation going on between Owen Miller and Colin Mond. Joe Greenlist was retired due to the infield fly rule last time he was up in the second inning. And Tyler Pascarosa was going to wait wisely after that conversation between Miller and Mont. He's going to talk to his pitcher, Mont. And I don't think this is the end for Colin Mont, but I do think that this is going to be just a bit of a conversation and maybe get some action going in the Franklin bullpen.
Yeah, it looked like a couple of players have headed down there. I doubt this is it for Mont. They'd fancy his chances to get out of this one. Obviously, we saw him back in the second inning with a first and second jam, and he was able to produce an infield fly to the batter now, Joe Greenlist, and strike out Linehan.
Maybe it's just something with Colin Mont pitching on even-numbered innings. In the first and third, he went 1-2-3, but now in the second and fourth, he's given up 2 base runners. No runs against him yet, and he's only given up 1 hit, which was to Lyon in the second, but a couple of walks dished out to Lyon and DeCairo. Maybe it's just those 2 batters that seem to get the better of him. But now Joe Greenlist, the designated hitter, with an opportunity to break this baby open. Takes the first pitch right over the pipe for strike one. Good start for Colin Mont in this at-bat. Mont now taking a little bit more time between pitches. Here's the 0-1. This one is lifted, shallow, doesn't even going to leave the infield. Sullivan makes the catch for the third out. And again, no runs across the board through 3.5 innings as we go to the bottom of the fourth. It's going to be Kryzak, Sullivan, Louisi. Due up for Franklin on the MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network presented by Campers in RV. Your one-stop shop for RV sales, parts, and service.
Nothing brings a community together like hometown baseball. Caesars Barbershop is proud to sponsor the Franklin Post-75 Legion Tournament and wishes all the players the best of luck. Whether you're getting ready for game day or just need a fresh new look, stop by Caesars Barbershop in Franklin for quality cuts and friendly service. Thanks to Caesars for supporting local baseball and our community. Caesars Barbershop, where Franklin comes to look its best.
Go Franklin Post 75 from the team at Body Fit Training Franklin Village.
Championships aren't built in a single game. They're built through hard work, consistency, and showing up every day. That's the same philosophy at Body Fit Training Fitness. With coach-led strength and conditioning classes for all fitness levels, BFT helps you train with purpose, build for the long game, and become stronger together. Train for your next decade, not just your next workout. Body Fit Training at Franklin Village. Follow us on Instagram or text our studio line to book your first class free. Proudly supporting Franklin Post 75 and the MyFM local sports network.
Kryzak, Sullivan, Louisi, due up for Franklin on the MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network, presented by Campers Inn RV, your one-stop shop for RV sales, parts, and service. Pat Munger returning to work. It is 11:42, Dylan. 42 minutes this game has been going on for, and we're in the bottom of the fourth already. Only one hit between these two teams combined. It came from Josh Lyon in the top of the second. Franklin's still looking for their first hit of the ball game. They had one base runner, and it was Gavin Hennigan who led off the first inning. After that, a whole lot of nothing for Franklin. After Kryzak takes that first pitch for a strike, here's the 0-1, and just misses outside for now, a 1-1 count.
I mean, at some point, something's going to have to give. Someone's going to have to get a run across this board. It's just a matter of when.
The 1-1 from Munger. Kryzak waves and misses for strike two.
Yeah, that slider's been working all day for Munger. Able to get Kryzak to reach out on that one.
Munger comes set. Here's the 1-2 to Kryzak. This one's hit way high into right field. DeCairo backtracking and makes the catch.
Same result as his first step at that fly out to right field. And again, Franklin's still searching for hit number one.
Jack Sullivan, who reached on an error in the first inning, eventually was forced out at second thanks to a fielder's choice. Lefty. First pitch. Hard hit through the gap into right field, and Franklin finally has their first hit of the ball game. Jack Sullivan with a single.
See, that was a purposeful announcer's jinx induced there by me. I said Franklin's been looking for their first hit all day, and Sullivan on the next pitch puts it into right field.
It works both ways. Pat Louisi, who grounded into a fielder's choice to end the first.
You know, Franklin hasn't hit a home run today, Andrew.
If he hits it right here, Dylan, I swear. First pitch to him is well low and inside. Sullivan took off for second. There was no throw made by Linehan as the pitch was well in the dirt. So Sullivan now in scoring position.
That was really smart base running there from Sullivan as he took an extended secondary lead, and as soon as he saw that one inside and Linehan kind of slacking off, he took off for second base.
This one, line drive right to Leonardo, who makes the catch. Good eye by Sullivan, making sure he was back at second so he didn't get doubled up.
I think I was definitely pushing my my powers I have as an announcer right there.
That is the opposite of announcer's jinx.
But still, runner on second. I know 2 down out here, but a big opportunity here for Edmonds.
Got to find a way to advance Sullivan at least over to third base. Edmonds struck out in the second. Munger is keeping Sullivan honest over at second. Sullivan very jumpy. He's moving around out there. Here's the first pitch. Down the third base line. On the backhand by Slack. Corner-to-corner throw, and it pulls Lyon off the bag. Sullivan has an opportunity to go home. He will, and he will score. Franklin has scored the first run of the ball game off a throwing error by Cam Slack. It went out of the glove of Lyon over at first. Edmonds reaches via error and allows Sullivan to cross the plate, and it's 1-0 Franklin.
Well, that's a big run right there. Again, it doesn't matter how you get it across the plate, just that it does. It was a tough throw cross corner from Slack over to Lyon. He had to jump up it, ricocheted out of his glove, and then trickled away, allowing Sullivan to go in to score. It's 1-0.
The second error committed by Cumberland today. First one for Slack after the first one was by Leonardo back in the first inning. Owen Miller took the first pitch outside for ball one.
And that's the key. You got to take advantage of the mistakes.
Here's the 1-0. This one is hit foul way high and going to land on the concourse bleachers here at Fitton Field.
But again, that aggressive base running from Sullivan to steal second base on the low pitch and catching Linehan sleeping allowed him to score on that throwing error.
Owen Miller now 1-1 count. 2 away. Runner on first is Edmonds. Munger fires. This one's popped up. Tailing foul behind the backstop, and it will land again in the seats. Counts now 1-2 for Miller.
Be interested to see if Edmonds takes off again here.
We noticed the aggressiveness that Tyler Pascal-Rosa was talking about. Your backs are up against the wall. You got to take any chance you can to advance a runner and capitalize on some errors. Didn't look like Sullivan had the time to run on that error, but he did. He took off and he was able to score. That's fouled off again by Owen Miller behind the backstop. Stays alive, 1-2 in the count.
Yeah, Miller doing his best just to keep himself alive, but also continue to drive up this pitch count from Munger, especially in this inning where Franklin's been able to take advantage.
1-2 upcoming for Owen Miller. Popped up, fouled in our direction, and it's going to land short. But this presentation of the MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network is brought to you in part by Reardon HVAC, providing heating and air conditioning service and installation to the Franklin area. Family-owned, locally trusted, and always on time. Reardon HVAC, we could use you here in this press box. It's musty in here. My goodness.
It's not pretty.
Count is 1-2 for Owen Miller. You're going to do it again. Munger delivers down the third base line. Slack fields it on the backhand, and this throw is right on the money to Lyon for the third out. That's going to do it here for the bottom of the fourth. Franklin finally gets one across the plate. It's 1-0 Franklin Post 75 on the MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network presented by Campers Inn RV, your one-stop shop for RV sales, parts, and service.
At Haven Hot Chicken, we're proud to be part of the Franklin community and proud to support Franklin Post 75 as they compete on the diamond. Whether you're celebrating a big win or grabbing a meal with family and friends, Haven serves up Nashville hot chicken made the right way. Always antibiotic-free, marinated in buttermilk, and cooked fresh to order with 5 levels of heat to satisfy every appetite. Best of luck to Franklin Post 75 throughout the tournament. From all of us at Haven Hot Chicken, we're cheering you on every step of the way. Haven Hot Chicken, 477 West Central Street in Franklin. Born hot, raised right.
Dean Bank congratulates the Franklin Legion team as they continue their journey towards the World Series in North Carolina. Since 1889, Dean Bank has been the community bank partner of Franklin and beyond. From checking and savings accounts to mortgages, vehicle loans, and small business loans, Dean Bank is sure to have the right product for all your financial needs. We love to hear the community say, Dean Bank is our bank. Visit deanbank.com to open your account today. Dean Bank is member FDIC, member DIF, and an equal housing lender.
Welcome back to Fitton Field on the MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network presented by Campers Inn RV, your one-stop shop for RV sales, parts, and service. Tyler Linehan, Carson Mellon, Carter Harris due up for Upper Deck Post 14, now trailing 1-0 to Franklin Post 75. What does Upper Deck need to do and try and tie this thing up, Dylan?
Well, I mean, they've been able to get runners on base, but they just haven't been able to advance them beyond second base. They've only got the one hit so far. So I think the thing is with Mont is you got to get him going early, and he's been a little erratic with his pitches, but when he's throwing strikes, you got to make contact and try and get one into the gap and maybe produce an extra base hit here.
Colin Mont has dished out 3 walks today, only 1 strikeout. The strikeout belongs to Tyler Linehan, who is leading off this top of the 5th inning for Upper Deck Post 14. Again, both these teams, it's win or go home here. It is do or die. If either team, whoever loses, that's it. Their season is done. No American Legion World Series for them, no regional championship, and that'll be it for their summer.
Well, both teams struggled offensively yesterday, and it's kind of the similar fact here today. Just 1 hit for each team so far.
Linehan, a softie, right to the second baseman, Gogan, who makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out for Colin Mont.
Well, if there's one thing you didn't want to do if you were Upper Deck, it was probably that right there. And it was another one of those soft swings on the pitch outside.
Yeah, got it right off the end of the barrel, and They have not been able to really barrel up these hits for Upper Deck. Again, the one hit, it was a nice little loft blooper over Gogan's head into shallow right field. This one jams him inside, but gets through the gap. And a little bit of an awkward single for Carson Mellon, but it gets the job done. He's able to reach first base.
Yeah, he kind of had to muscle that one off the inside of his bat, and it trickled right between the first and second baseman, Edmonton Gogan, but it gets you a runner on base. We'll see Mellon being the center fielder. Probably's got a lot of speed to him. We'll see if there's any movement on the base path as well.
Just the second hit for Upper Deck post 14. Carter Harris takes the first pitch down low for ball 1.
Now you got your leadoff hitter as well up at the plate. Not a situation where I think you'd think about bunting with one down and a runner on first, though.
He is 0 for 2 today, is Carter Harris. Make that now a 2-0 count for Harris. That was outside.
But this is the chance here for Upper Deck to respond back with a run of their own.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. Inside corner for strike 1. I don't think Carter Harris was a fan of that call.
No, I think it was the right call, though. He is standing a little bit inside on the plate. That one nicked the inside corner.
Here's the 2-1. Well high, ball 3. This is where Colin Mont has gotten into some trouble. It's never usually the first batter. It's usually the third or fourth batter of an inning that he faces. He starts to get a little bit erratic, especially with his fastballs. Here's the 3-1. Make that strike 2. Full count now.
Another nice pitch there, and Harris wasn't a fan of it, but just painting the black there is Mont, and now works his way back full.
Payoff pitch upcoming from Colin Mont. That's well outside. Oh, no, they rung him up. It looked a bit outside. Carter Harris is sat down looking on strike 3.
Well, that was 3 strikes that Harris saw that he really didn't agree with any of them, but gets rung up, and now 2 down.
The first 2 I thought were painted on the outside corner. That last one was probably the most questionable one. Runner goes. That's swung on and missed by Micah Kusno. Did he foul it?
Yep.
Yes, he did. And Mellon is going to have to retreat back to first base.
And trying to get aggressive here with 2 down, trying to move the runner into scoring position to try and allow for Kusno to drive him in.
Let's see if Mellon decides to go again. Here's the 0-1. Indeed, he will go, and this one is gone to the opposite side. Good hit by Micah Kusno, letting that one travel, and Mellon is able to get an extra jump on that base hit and advance to third base, and now runners are on the corners.
Yeah, and with the right-handed batter up, it was Gogan going to cover, and it was pushed there by Kusno towards the second base position, which he had abandoned to cover second base bag. Works out perfectly here for Upper Deck. Now runners on the corners.
It was the right play for Gogan to make, considering that Kusno is a righty. You expect him to pull that. First pitch to Jake Leonardo is in the dirt for ball 1. Now runners on the corners, 2 away here in the top of the 5th inning. Upper Deck post 14 down 1-0 to Franklin post 75 in this elimination game. Mont comes set, delivers the 1-0. Fouled off on the first base side for strike 1 toward the concession stands here at Fitton Field.
The other thing, too, with Mellon going was it didn't look like he had the best jumps. It was honestly better Kusno had made contact there because he might have been gunned down at second.
Here's the 1-1. Down the third base side, but foul, and nearly drilled Mellon, who's at third base.
Yeah, that would have been bad. It would have been a tough way to get yourself out of the inning. It goes just left of that third base bag.
Colin Mont waiting for the call from his catcher, Miller. He comes set, and the runner from first is going Kusno. They're going to try to draw the defensive indifference. Mont is more focused on Kusno. Throw back to third. Did they get him? They did indeed! Mellon got too aggressive at third, and they picked him off as Kusno was trying to draw the throw to him. Ends the inning, and both runners are left stranded in scoring position, and Franklin holds on to a 1-0 lead on the MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network, presented by Campers in RV, your one-stop shop for RV sales, parts, and service.
Franklin Duncan is proud to support Franklin Post 75 and their journey through the American Legion Northeast Regional Tournament. With 3 convenient locations in Franklin, Duncan is your hometown stop for fresh coffee, breakfast sandwiches, their famous donuts, baked goods, and your favorite hot or iced beverages. Whether you're fueling up before the game or celebrating a big win afterward, Franklin Duncan has everything you need to keep your day running. Franklin Post 75 runs on Duncan.
Dean Bank congratulates the Franklin Legion team as they continue their journey towards the World Series in North Carolina. Since 1889, Dean Bank has been the community bank partner of Franklin and beyond. From checking and savings accounts to mortgages, vehicle loans, and small business loans, Dean Bank is sure to have the right product for all your financial needs. We love to hear the community say, Dean Bank is our bank. Visit deanbank.com to open your account today. Dean Bank is member FDIC, member DIF, and an equal housing lender.
Bottom of the order, due up for Franklin Post 75. Zach Weiner, Joe Gogan, Henry George, due up for Franklin Post 75, trying to add some insurance runs to their 1-0 lead over Upper Deck Post 14, trying to keep their season alive, Dylan.
Yeah, they are, and for Franklin, it was Mont with a really heads-up play to end that inning. Obviously, with the coming to their second strike, Cousineau takes off for second base as Mont's standing there on the mound, and he keeps looking back and forth and back and forth. He really doesn't want to throw it to second base to allow for Mellon to take off, and Mellon just takes one extra step too far, and Mont pounds that ball to third base, and a beautiful out there.
Zach Weiner flew out to left his one plate appearance so far today. First pitch from Pat Munger is up high for ball one.
Franklin a chance, though, to try and extend their lead.
Here's the 1-0, down low for ball two.
And it's been a good performance from Munger. It's just an unfortunate result off the errors of his defense.
The one run is unearned on Munger. Here's the 2-0. That's inside for ball three. Zach Weiner nearly stepped out of the box before the pitch even arrived to Linehan.
See how much longer Munger can go in this game, though.
Here's the 3-0. And it's a 4-pitch leadoff walk for Zach Weiner here in the bottom of the fifth. Just the second walk dished out by Munger. The first one since Gavin Hennigan in the bottom of the first.
It's a good way to lead things off and you're working in the bottom of the order. And while that might be the case for Franklin, it's also a chance for these guys to step up for their team. It hasn't been really much production throughout the whole lineup so far today.
Joe Gogan shows bunt, pulls away. Linehan thought about going for first to pick off Weiner. It was not. It was called strike one, even though Gogan pulled away.
Yeah.
To clip the outside edge.
Yeah, that one was a very nicely located one. Slack very much in on the grass.
Here's the 0-1 again. Gogan shows bunt, pulls away. This one was well outside for ball one. Counts evened up.
It'll be interesting to see if he does get this one laid down, what Slack decides to do, if he can maybe pick up and try and gun him out at second base.
Runner on first is Zach Weiner. Franklin leads 1-0 here. The 1-1 is in there for strike two. Good breaking ball, clipped the outside corner.
Yeah, that time Gogan didn't even show bunt, wasn't even thinking about it, but takes it for a called strike.
Can't bunt here in a 2-strike count. Here's the 1-2. Swung on, foul tipped, and caught by Linehan for strike three and out number one here in the bottom of the fifth inning.
Well, that's a good response right there from Munger after giving up the 4-pitch walk to Weiner, responding back with a confident strikeout.
Third strikeout dished out by Munger today. Here's Henry George. He flew out to center back in the third inning. Henry George, the right fielder. Munger has to step off the rubber.
I wonder if Weiner tries to get aggressive and steal on this pitch to maybe set up an opportunity to get him in scoring.
Henry George a little bit late on the swing, but he fouls it behind him for strike one.
I'm just thinking with it being the bottom of the order that if he gets gunned out, it's not the worst case scenario.
Don't know how aggressive Tyler Pasquarose is going to be with sending his designated hitter to try and steal a base. But here's the 0-1. A half-hearted swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, says the first base umpire for strike two.
And just couldn't hang off on that breaking ball outside and down low.
Various different umpires on the crew for the various games of this tournament. George fouls that one behind him. This presentation of the MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network is brought to you in part by Peel Micro Spa in Franklin. Everything you need to look and feel your best. Tony Veltri from West Virginia is the umpire-in-chief of this tournament. 0-2 upcoming to Henry George. Low and in the dirt for ball one. Bounced. Good job by Linehan to stay in front of it. Other umpires include Phil Schlosser from Nevada, Joe Volpe from Pennsylvania, and Mark D'Angelo and William Giulli from Massachusetts. 1-2 for Henry George. Zach Weiner still occupying first base. Runner now goes. He had a late jump, and he is gunned down at second. And that does it. Does it?
That's only 2 outs.
That was only 2 outs.
That shouldn't be the end of the inning.
That should not be the end of the inning. Gogan struck out. Weiner was walked. Or was it strike 3? It was strike 3
to George?
It was strike 3 to George. My apologies. That does it for the bottom of the 5th inning. I didn't even see because I was too busy focused on the runner. We'll be back on the MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network presented by Campers Inn RV, your one-stop shop for RV sales, parts, and service.
Franklin Duncan is proud to support Franklin Post 75 and their journey through the American Legion Northeast Regional Tournament. With 3 convenient locations in Franklin, Duncan is your hometown stop for fresh coffee, breakfast sandwiches, their famous donuts, baked goods, and your favorite hot or iced beverages. Whether you're fueling up before the game or celebrating a big win afterward, Franklin Duncan has everything you need to keep your day running. Franklin Post 75 runs on Duncan.
Nothing brings a community together like hometown baseball. Caesars Barbershop is proud to sponsor the Franklin Post 75 Legion Tournament and wishes all the players the best of luck. Whether you're getting ready for game day or just need a fresh new look, stop by Caesars Barbershop in Franklin for quality cuts and friendly service. Thanks to Caesars for supporting local baseball and our community. Caesars Barbershop, where Franklin comes to look its best.
After Pat Munger went 1-2-3, striking out Henry George, then Linehan gunned down Weiner trying to steal second. We're back on the MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network, presented by Campers Inn RV, your one-stop shop for RV sales, parts, and service. Jake Leonardo, Cam Slack, Josh Lyon due up for Upper Deck Post 14. They're down to their final 6 outs, Dylan. They're running out of time to get a run across the plate.
Yeah, they are. They need to start getting some hits and getting hits connected, and they really haven't been able to do much yet. Last inning, they were able to get a runner over to third, but then they got outsmarted by Colin Mont. See what they can do here with the 3, 4, and 5.
Mont has just been blazing through batters, and the first pitch is in there for strike 1 on Jake Leonardo, who's 0 for 2 today with a fly out and a ground out. Mont, here's the 0-1 down the third base line and just tucks foul before the bag for strike 2.
Yeah, there's been times where there have been cracks in the pitching performance from Mont, but he's always been able to recover so far today.
0-2 upcoming to Leonardo. He's going to step off the rubber. Looks like some more arms, more players heading towards the Franklin bullpen. I assume for potentially the 7th inning in a close or save situation. That's also fouled off down the third baseline. This presentation of the MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network is brought to you in part by GNC Plumbing and Heating. Big enough to tackle the toughest jobs, small enough to treat you like family. 0-2 count still for Jake Leonardo in a 1-0 ball game where Franklin leads. Here's the pitch, and this one again poked into the opposite field. A base hit single for Jake Leonardo, and it seems like all 4 hits for Upper Deck Post 14 have been to the opposite field and right.
I was just about to say that, Andrew. They've all just about been able to get contact off of Mont and just poke them into the outfield. Again, nothing really has been squared up so far here from Upper Deck. Let's see, though. It's a leadoff single if they can get going.
Here's Cam Slack, also 0 for 2 today. First pitch just below the knees for ball 1. Let's see how aggressive Jake Leonardo is going to be on the base paths. The second baseman could have some speed. Mont, high and inside for ball 2. I think he's going to wait to steal for when Mont throws something off speed. He's not going to now.
He's going to want to respond back with a strike.
Here's the 2-0. There's the fastball for strike 1.
Yeah, Slack was taking the whole way there.
Going to try to draw potentially the fourth walk of the ball game by Colin Mont. Here's the 2-1. Fastball low and outside corner. Perfectly placed for strike 2. It evens up the count.
Yeah, good response back after falling down 2-0 to even it back to 2 here from Mont on the 2 fastballs.
The 2-2. Well outside, ball 3, full count.
Yeah, that one was pulled, and I would expect nothing less than another fastball here from Mont.
See how on top of it Slack is. Mont, payoff pitch. Up high, ball 4. And 2 base runners on, nobody out for Upper Deck post 14. This has been the best shot for them to get a run across the board. Let's see what they can do here. Josh Lyon, who's reached base safely both times, singled in the second, walked in the fourth, and Tyler Pascarosa is going to go out to talk to his pitcher, Colin Mont.
I think this could be it for Mont.
On his way to the mound, he actually goes to talk to the home plate umpire, and it looks like there is another arm coming out of the dugout from Franklin. This could be it for Colin Mont. Could this be it? Let's see who it is.
Yeah, there is another player coming in, so I think it's going to be his day done. And they have 2 runners on for the first time with nobody out.
And Colin Mont did not give up the baseball. He is still there. Benjamin Ellis did come onto the field, but he's going to take second base, replacing Joe Gogan. So Gogan goes to the dugout, and Ellis is now occupying second base. Colin Mont stays on the mound, looking to get out of the jam he has put himself in.
That's an interesting change there. I'm intrigued to know why that change was made.
I am wondering the same thing, Dylan. I'm not quite sure why they changed the second baseman. I mean, I'm not saying it's Gogan's fault that almost every single hit has gone to right field, poked the opposite way, but a couple of times he's gone to cover second baseman on a potential base runner looking to steal. This one is popped up. Potentially playable? No, over the netting and foul.
Well, I know that Lyon's one guys who's got a hit so far today, and he's reached twice, but with you needing a run and nobody out, runners on first and second, I'm surprised he didn't show bunt there.
I am as well. Nobody out. You want to try to advance both runners into scoring position if you can. He's now down to the count 0-1. Mont delivers. Inside corner, strike 2. What a pitch by Colin Mont.
That was a beautiful slider. He snuck in front door right there up high.
And some direction from the dugout, moving Ben Ellis closer to the bag. This one lifted, playable, shallow right field in foul territory and just over the fence in deep right field. George couldn't get there in time. Still remains an 0-2 count for Josh Lyon. Upper Deck down 1-0 to Franklin here in the top of the 6th inning. 2 runners on, nobody out. Leonardo at second, Slack at first. Lyon in an 0-2 count. Mont comes set. Delivers the 0-2. Hard hit into the gap in left center field, and that one is gone!
No,
it's not. I lost it in the white sign. My apologies. 1 run scores. I didn't see it land. It's a white Avidia Bank sign. It blended in with the baseball almost perfectly. It's a double. 1 run scores. Slack gets held up at third base. And this game is tied. My apologies. I thought it was gone.
Now, that was the first ball that was squared up, though, today so far from either team, really, as it was driven all the way back out there. And now it's going to do Mont's day. Hey, there's a reason why I'm not a baseball coach. They know better than me. Lyon goes ahead and squares that one up. And now with nobody out, runners on second and third.
And now a second mound visit. That will do it for Colin Mont. And Upper Deck post 14 has taken control of this one. 2 runners in scoring position, and now this game is tied 1-1 on the MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network, presented by Campers in RV, your one-stop shop for RV sales, parts, and service.
When it's time to celebrate, Franklin knows where to go. The Rome Restaurant. Proudly sponsoring Franklin Post 75, the Rome has been bringing friends and families together with great food and hometown hospitality for generations. They're honored to support the players, coaches, and fans who make Franklin baseball so special. From everyone at the Rome, best of luck in the tournament. The Rome Restaurant and Franklin Post 75, a winning team for Franklin. Take it home from the Rome.
Next 9 Up in Franklin is proud to sponsor Franklin Post 75 Legion Baseball, home of the Bluebirds Softball League and Franklin Bulldogs Baseball League. Next 9 Up is dedicated to helping athletes take their game to the next level through quality training, development, and a passion for sports. We're honored to support the players, coaches, and families who make Franklin Post 75 a tradition of excellence. From all of us at Next 9 Up, best of luck in the tournament and go Franklin Post 75.
At GNC Plumbing and Heating, community means everything. That's why we're proud to sponsor Franklin Post 75. As a local plumbing, heating, and cooling company serving Franklin, Bellingham, and surrounding towns, we're committed to helping our neighbors at home and supporting local youth in our community. Best of luck to Franklin Post 75 this tournament. From all of us at GNC Plumbing and Heating, we're behind you all the way. Let's go, Post 75. GNC Plumbing and Heating. Big enough to tackle the toughest jobs, small enough to treat you like family.
Upper Deck Post 14 has just tied this game thanks to an RBI double by Josh Lyon on the MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network, presented by Campers and RV, your one-stop shop for RV sales, parts, and service. It brings Leonardo across the plate to tie things up. Cam Slack is at third. He will be the go-ahead run. And again, Josh Lyon at second base. Aiden Clark has come on in relief of Colin Mont. Mont pitching 5 innings, giving up 5 hits, allowing 1 run, which was earned, but he's responsible for both base runners in scoring position currently. He walked 4, struck out 2 on 78 pitches. It's now Aiden Clark. And a funny story, I talked to Tyler Pasquarozza earlier this week. Aiden Clark was on the Franklin Legion junior team, the U16 team, and he plays on Zach Brown's squad at Franklin High School. But after Franklin lost their number 2 starting pitcher, he came up to the senior squad, and he was the one who recorded the win in the state championship winning game over Milford in the state tournament at Pheno Field last weekend. And he's getting the nod here in a big situation. Nobody out, 2 runners in scoring position in a tie ball game in an elimination game here at Fitton Field in Worcester. Jack DeCairo takes the first pitch for ball 1 on Aiden Clark. Here's the 1-0 for Clark. No, he goes over to third, and a close play. Cam Slack just gets back in time. That was a bit of an interesting pickoff attempt going to third base. You don't see that too often.
No, you don't, but thought they could catch Slack off the base, and Luizzi, who was able to catch the one and dive over, just not in time, though.
They almost caught Slack slacking. Here's the 1-0 in the dirt for ball 2. To Cairo, who has yet to record a true at-bat. He's been walked both times he's been up to the plate.
First base bag is open. Infield's in on the grass.
Clark, much slower on the mound compared to Colin Mont.
Mont works ridiculously quick, though.
Here's the 2-0. Popped up foul behind the backstop. This presentation of the MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network is brought to you in part by Dean Bank, your bank.
All they got to do is poke one to the outfield, if not even deeper, to try and produce a sacrifice fly.
The 2-1 from Clark. Outside corner, strike 2.
Yeah, good response right there with the fastball on the outside to DeCairo. He'd love to get a big strikeout here.
Colin Mont is pulled after 78 pitches, so I believe that's 3 days of rest that is required. Here's the 2-2. Again, fouled off by DeCairo. We'll do it again. Still a 2-2 count.
And just battling that one off, trying to stay alive.
So for the most part, Colin Mont would be done for the tournament if everything proceeds as scheduled. Obviously, weather could throw a wrinkle into things, much like how we saw in the state tournament. Here's the 2-2. This one hard hit into left field. Hennigan trying to chase after it, and he will make the catch. Tagging up from third is Cam Slack, and he will score. Upper Deck, Post 14, has taken a 2-1 lead in the top of the 6th inning.
Yeah, I mean, DeCairo, he did his job right there. He hit one hard out towards left field. We'd seen them do it a lot today where they'd hit hard balls high and deep, and it's deep enough to allow for Cam Slack to come in and put the go-ahead run.
Josh Lyons stayed put at second base. He's still in scoring position now with 1 out. Joe Greenless 0 for 2 today up against Aiden Clark. Fouls the first pitch off behind him for strike 1. And it's been this heart of the order for Upper Deck Post 14 that has been the offensive facilitators for Upper Deck, namely Josh Lyon and Jack DeCairo, who've really been finding ways to get on base and now score a couple of runs. Here's the 0-1. Fouled off by Greenless again behind him, and he's quickly down 0-2.
Yeah, Greenless trying to find his way onto base for the first time today. He could come up with a big insurance run if he could drive home Josh Lyon.
Aiden Clark comes set. Ellis trying to keep Lyon honest at second. Here's the pitch, well outside, ball 1.
That one looked like it just slipped a little bit out of the hand there of Clark as he ripped it across into the left-handed batter's box.
Ellis goes back to his usual second base position. Here's the 1-2. Again, fouled off by Greenless.
And it's really been all day here for Upper Deck that they've made it hard to complete the strikeouts. Obviously, there's been a few here from Franklin, but they're not going to make it easy. They're going to battle in there at the plate.
Clark waiting for the call. He comes set. Looks back the runner at second. Here's the 1-2. No, he got him. He rung him up. Got him looking. Painted the outside corner. Aiden Clark records his first strikeout of his outing. That's now 2 down. And it's going to bring up Tyler Linehan, the catcher, who's 0 for 2 today.
Yeah, I thought that one clipped the outside corner. It was just a little bit of a late call there from the umpire as he pulled the ripcord on the called third strike.
Linehan 0 for 2 today. Outside for ball 1.
He's had that little line out to the second base. It was kind of a line out pop out last time in the 5th inning. A blooper, you could call it.
Runner on second is still Josh Lyon. Aiden Clark, the 1-0 pitch. Outside for ball 2. This presentation of the MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network is brought to you in part by Dunkin' in Franklin, because Post 75 runs on Dunkin'. 2-0 from Clark. Outside corner, strike 1.
Could use a nice cool drink right about now.
Strawberry dragon fruit refreshed with lemonade. Oof, that would be heavenly at this moment in time.
I'd take anything cold at this moment.
Anything with ice. A whole lot of ice. The 2-1. Again, same spot, a little bit up high outside corner, but it's evened up at 2-2 now.
Yeah, Clark's done a good job painting that outside corner on the right-handed batter so far as he's come on in.
It's very stoic on the mound. Here's the 2-2. Up high for ball 3. Both middle infielders, Sullivan at short and Ellis at second, have been very jumpy trying to keep Lyon honest.
And with 2 outs, so you don't want to be too focused there on the runner.
Lyon's also a first baseman. He doesn't strike me as the steal base kind of guy. Payoff pitch. Fouled off by Linehan, and we'll do it again.
Again, just battling away here. Is Linehan, and Upper Deck not making it easy.
3-2 coming up for Tyler Linehan, 0 for 2 today. A 2-1 ball game. Upper Deck leads. Stares at Lyon at second. Here's the pitch, low and away, ball 4. Linehan earns a hard-fought walk.
And now Upper Deck, they're still 2 down, but they keep the inning alive and they get themselves to the bottom of the order. Looks like we're going to have a pinch runner, actually. Number 2. And we know the rule with that, though, that the catcher can return back in.
Indeed, he can. That is Andy Tomlinson, the pinch runner. Carson Mellon now up to the plate. First pitch to Mellon is low and away for ball one. Boy, what a change of pace this game has had. I knew it. I knew the game would not be this lightning quick for this long. We went through 5.5 innings, or 5 innings, in just over an hour, and this top of the 6 has gone just about 20 minutes, which has been by far the longest half inning we've had. Mellon fouls it behind him into the protective netting for strike one.
It was only a matter of time before we were going to get a half inning like this. You can never go through one completely quickly.
1-1 now for Carson Mellon. 2 runners on. It is now Tomlinson at first, pinch running for Linehan, and Josh Lyons still at second. Comebacker gets past the pitcher, goes to Ellis at second, throw to first is in time for the third out. 2 runners left stranded. But Franklin, their backs are now against the wall. They're down by 1. Upper Deck leads 2-1 on the MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network, presented by Campers and RV, your one-stop shop for RV sales, parts, and service.
Dean Bank congratulates the Franklin Legion team as they continue their journey towards the World Series in North Carolina. Since 1889, Dean Bank has been the community bank partner of Franklin and beyond. From checking and savings accounts to mortgages, vehicle loans, and small business loans, Dean Bank is sure to have the right product for all your financial needs. We love to hear the community say, Dean Bank is our bank. Visit deanbank.com to open your account today. Dean Bank is member FDIC, member DIF, and an equal housing lender.
Peel Microspa is proud to sponsor Franklin Post 75 Baseball. From facials and skincare treatments to waxing, beauty services, and spray tans, Peel is dedicated to help you look and feel your best. We're passionate about supporting the athletes, families, and community, and honored to support the tournament and the outstanding players competing. From all of us at Peel Microspa in Franklin, we wish Franklin Post 75 a great tournament and continued success. Peel Microspa in Franklin. We have everything you need to look and feel your best.
Franklin Post 75 trailing Upper Deck Post 14 by a score of 2-1 as we enter the bottom of the 6th inning on the MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network, presented by Campers and RV, your one-stop shop for RV sales, parts, and service. It's the top of the order for Franklin Post 75. Hennigan, Kryzak, and Sullivan. Franklin running out of time. They got to get a run across the board to keep their season alive here.
Yeah, they do, and, they were hoping maybe they could hang on to that 1-run lead, but it's a tough and tall task to ask from your defense and pitcher. So now the bats are going to have to come to life and try and save them. Well, luckily, they'll be working with the top of the order. I don't think you can ask for a better place to get started here to try and produce a run.
Pat Munger returning to work on the mound. He's only given up 1 hit, and it was to Jack Sullivan back in the 4th inning. He eventually would steal second and then would score on an error by Cam Slack at third base. So Gavin Hennigan, who was walked in the 1st, grounded out in the 3rd. First pitch he sees is a fastball for strike 1, and Colin Mont has had a phenomenal outing before giving up the RBI double in the 6th inning, but Pat Munger has just been outstanding for Upper Deck today. And a half-hearted swing by Hennigan misses everything for strike 2. They just cannot seem to find an answer for Pat Munger right now.
Yeah, Hennigan's one of only 2 batters so far today that's been able to reach scoring position for Franklin.
Here is the 0-2. Down low below the knees for ball 1.
That was a good idea right there from Munger on that pitch, just curling back in, but it was a bit low.
The 1-2. Hard hit, center field. Easy fly ball for Mellon to make the catch.
It's 1 of 6 that Upper Deck needs to close out this game.
The winner of this game will play will play the loser of Game 6, which is tonight between Bedford, New Hampshire, and Shrewsbury. That will be at Tivnan Field, which is at Quinsigamond State Park, also located here in Worcester, Massachusetts. The winner of the loser of this game will have their season come to a close. Sean Kryzak now ahead in the count 2-0. He's 0 for 2 today. Both times he flew out to right field.
See if he can just get one to drop like Upper Deck's been able to do in right field.
2-0. Low and inside for ball 3. Kryzak just trying to get on base by any means necessary. He's got the red light. He is not going to budge at all on this next pitch.
No, there's no reason to do so.
Here's the 3-0 pitch. And high for ball 4. A 4-pitch walk for Kryzak. He'll get to first base. Third walk dished out today by Munger. It's going to bring up Jack Sullivan, who's reached base both times. He reached via error in the first, then singled in the third.
Well, we know Kryzak's got some speed to him as well. I don't think you'd see Sullivan bunt, though.
Third baseman Slack is in on the grass. Munger steps off the rubber. This is a tricky situation for Munger to deal with. Obviously, Kryzak, a speed threat. Sullivan could very well bunt. Takes the first pitch, a heater right over the heart of it for strike 1.
I don't think you'll see Sullivan bunting here with 1 down and a runner on first base, though. I think you'll want to see him make a difference in this game with his bat.
Here's the 0-1 count. Munger delivers. Runner goes. Good jump by Kryzak, and he's in there safely.
Yeah, Kryzak easily able to steal that base. The throw from Linehan was high and out of the way. It would have had to been a phenomenal play by Cousineau to try and get that tag down. So now you get the runner in scoring position.
It's a 1-1 count now for Jack Sullivan. Kryzak now at second base in scoring position. Here's the pitch. Just below the knees for ball 2. This presentation of the MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network is brought to you in part by Haven Hot Chicken on West Central Street in Franklin. Born hot, raised right. Munger comes set. The 2-1. Drilled into right, but foul.
That was probably the best connection of bat to ball we've seen so far from Franklin. Unfortunately, just pulled down that right field line. And so Sullivan's got to walk his way back to pick up the bat and get back in that left-handed batter's box.
Sullivan looking for his 22nd RBI of the season, trying to bring home Sean Kryzak and tie this game up at 2 apiece. Franklin down 2-1. They've mustered just 1 hit today. Here's the 2-2. In the dirt for ball 3. Count is full for Sullivan.
Yeah, good job by Sullivan. A really good at-bat so far and able to work this one full now.
Payoff pitch. Fouled off. Right with the undercarriage. Goes right into the upper deck dugout. Everyone moved out of the way. No one hurt on that ricochet.
That one was close. But yeah, it just evaded everybody.
I heard a couple oohs from the crowd as it went right into the burnt orange dugout. Payoff pitch yet again. Outside, ball 4.
Well, yeah, that was a great at-bat there, and we see a similar situation to what Mont had on the mound, and I wonder if this time Upper Deck's going to make the decision to go to the pen instead of allowing for Munger's day to roll on.
Pat Munger has done a phenomenal job today. He's gone 5 1/3, walked 4, struck out 4, given up just 1 hit and 1 run, which was unearned. I think pulling him here might be a little bit premature, but we kind of said the same thing about Colin Mont, and he gave up an RBI double to to tie the game. He's going to stay out there as Munger, and he's going to face off against his opposite number 17, Pat Louisi, with 2 runners on, one of them in scoring position, that being Kryzak.
Yeah, back-to-back walks as well. We'll see how he commands the ball in this at-bat.
First pitch to Louisi in the dirt for ball 1. It started off with Hennigan flying out to center field, and Kryzak and Sullivan were walked. The 1-0 to Louisi. Same spot in the dirt, ball 2.
And I'm waiting for this next pitch either has to be right where you want it or you're taking it. I think you want to see a strike first, unless it's in that perfect spot.
The 2-0. Again in the dirt, ball 3.
Again, that command just hasn't been there now the past couple of at-bats, and Louisi's definitely taking here.
I would expect a 4-pitch walk to mean the end of Pat Munger's outing. The 3-0 pitch. Up high, ball 4, and the bases are loaded for Franklin Post 75. 3 consecutive walks for Pat Munger, including a 4-pitch walk to Louisi.
I know it's a tough situation to ask a pitcher to come in with the bases loaded, but if I'm Upper Deck, I got to take Munger out here.
There is no action going on in the Upper Deck bullpen. It's Ethan Edmonds at bat now. Bases loaded. The infield is in with just 1 away. And that pitch is well outside. What's that, 7 straight balls now for Pat Munger? Edmonds up in the count 1-0.
6 right now.
6 right now.
About to be 7 if he throws one here.
The play will be to home. And there's a strike finally by Munger to even up the count at 1.
I am intrigued by the middle infield being in with a potential double play ball in effect if they had played that depth.
It's got to be a perfectly executed double play. Here's the 1-1. Popped up way high. It doesn't look like it's going to leave the infield. It's in shallow right. Coming in is DeCairo. He'll make the catch. Thinking about tagging up from third was Kryzak. He'll stay put. And that's a massive second out for Upper Deck Post 14.
Yeah, it is indeed. And I mean, it was a long distance DeCairo had to come to run on in and make the play, but he did. And obviously, I don't think ever really thinking about going there was Kryzak.
That eliminates any potential for a sacrifice fly. And the infield is back to their normal positions. Owen Miller is 0 for 2 today, but he needs to put something in play to have a chance at tying this thing up. Takes the first pitch, a fastball for strike 1.
Yeah, good response back there by Munger, just throwing a strike across the plate.
Louisi at first, Sullivan at second, Kryzak at third. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Popped up. Shallow right field. DeCairo under it. And that's it. Bases loaded with 1 out, and Franklin can't get a run across. They're still down 2-1. To the top of the 7th we go on the MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network, presented by Campers NRV, your one-stop shop for RV sales, parts, and service.
Go Franklin Post 75 from the team at Body Fit Training Franklin Village.
Championships aren't built in a single game. They're built through hard work, consistency, and showing up every day. That's the same philosophy at Body Fit Training Fitness. With coach-led strength and conditioning classes for all fitness levels, BFT helps you train with purpose, build for the long game, and become stronger together. Train for your next decade, not just your next workout. Body Fit Training at Franklin Village. Follow us on Instagram or text our studio line to book your first class free. Proudly supporting Franklin Post 75 and the MyFM Local Sports Network.
At Haven Hot Chicken, we're proud to be part of the Franklin community and proud to support Franklin Post 75 as they compete on the diamond. Whether you're celebrating a big win or grabbing a meal with family and friends, Haven serves up Nashville hot chicken made the right way. Always antibiotic-free, marinated in buttermilk, and cooked fresh to order with 5 levels of heat to satisfy every appetite. Best of luck to Franklin Post 75 throughout the tournament. From all of us at Haven Hot Chicken, we're cheering you on every step of the way. Haven Hot Chicken, 477 West Central Street in Franklin. Born hot, raised right.
The MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network is presented by Campers NRV, your one-stop shop for RV sales, parts, and service. Upper Deck Post 14 out of Cumberland, Rhode Island is up 2-1 on Franklin Post 75 in the top of the 7th inning, and Upper Deck is going to look to add some insurance markers before the bottom of the 7th with Franklin down to their final 3 outs. Upper Deck has the top of the order due up. Harris, Cusino, Leonardo for Post 14, and Aiden Clark is back on the mound here in the top of the 7th inning after getting out of a jam back in the top of the 6th inning.
I got myself tangled up in a way I don't even know how that happened. All right, I've sorted it out, but yeah, it's big here for Clark to come through and make sure that no runs come across the board to make it as easy as possible for Franklin to mount a comeback.
Carter Harris is 0 for 3 today, a couple of flyouts and a strikeout for the left fielder. Aiden Clark, who works much slower on the mound than the starter Colin Mont did, but Franklin Post 75 needs to get a shutdown inning here out of Aiden Clark, the 16-year-old, who was called up from the junior team earlier in the summer, just before the district tournament. First pitch to Carter Harris is called ball 1.
Ty's rocking his rally cap for Franklin.
There's a breeze coming through the opening of the window here, and it feels so good. Counts now 1-1 for Carter Harris.
Slide it all the way over.
Slide it all the way down. Yeah, let's get some cross breeze flowing in here. Here's the 1-1. That's in the dirt for ball 2 on Carter Harris, the left fielder.
Yeah, I think this whole place was just baking. I don't think there's any AC flowing through here.
Well, there technically is, but this is an old ballpark, and the AC can be a little bit finicky at times. That clips the outside corner. It's a 2-2 count for Carter Harris.
And I think it's with the sunlight shining through the windows, it's just turned it into a sauna.
There's the 2-2 pitch to Harris. Foul behind him. This presentation of the MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network is brought to you in part by Body Fit Training at Franklin Village. Train for your next decade, not just your next workout.
I feel like I've dropped a pound today.
I'm pretty hungry. I feel like I could eat a pound today. Rolled over by Harris, but fouled down the third base side, and we'll try again with a 2-2 count.
Big opportunity here for Clark to sit down the first batter of the inning.
This game was scoreless after 3 innings. Franklin scored in the bottom of the 4th to make it 1-0, and then Upper Deck would score 2 in the top of the 6th. That's up high for ball 3, full count now.
And just a couple times now, Clark as well has lost that one inside on the batter. See how he responds back.
Payoff pitch against the leadoff batter, Carter Harris. Here's the pitch. Just below the knees, ball 4 and a leadoff walk for the left fielder, Harris.
I thought that one clipped the zone right there, and I think Harris even had some hesitations before he headed down to first base.
I thought so, too. I thought that was strike 3, but home plate umpire says it was below the knees. So leadoff walk for Carter Harris, and Micah Kusno is going to look to advance him with nobody out. He shows bunt, bunts it right back to Clark. Underhand toss to first. He does his job well. A sacrifice bunt moves Harris over to second.
I think, honestly, if he didn't even make contact with that, I think Harris was reaching second on a stolen bag anyways, but he does his job on the sac bunt, gets the runner over for the 3-hole hitter.
It was a pretty high pitch. He reached up to bunt that one down right back to Clark. Kusno advances Harris into scoring position, and Leonardo, who singled back in the 6th inning, has a runner in scoring position and 1 out. He lines this one up the middle into center field. Harris is going to get held up at third base. Leonardo with his second single and as many at-bats after starting the day 0 for 2, and now runners are at the corners for Upper Deck post 14.
Yeah, I think that one was hit a little too hard and a good charge there from Krizak. And they just didn't want to test his arm. There was a good chance he was going to come up firing to home. It would have been a tough slide in from Harris to try and be safe.
Now Clark is going to have to deal with this heart of the order. Cam Slack, who was walked and scored the go-ahead run for Upper Deck back in the 6th. First pitch to him paints the inside corner for strike 1.
Yeah, nice pitch right there on inside. Obviously, we got first and third again. We know what happened last time that happened for Upper Deck. It was just chaos.
Let's see if they try the good old defensive indifference play again. They do not do so this time around. It's outside, good block by Miller. It's a 1-1 count.
Miller's been great behind the plate all of today. He's made a lot of big blocks. You haven't seen anything escape past him.
No wild pitches yet from any pitcher. Mont, Clark for Franklin, and Munger for Upper Deck. Nothing has gotten behind their catchers. Pickoff attempt at third base yet again, trying to keep Harris honest. You don't see many pickoff attempts at third, and Aiden Clark has done it twice now.
Yeah, you don't, because you normally don't want to risk that ball getting away.
There's the 1-1 for Slack. Fouled off behind him for strike 2.
See, now with 2 strikes, this is where you may see the runner take off. It's normally when teams think about it.
Runners on the corners. Harris at third, Leonardo at first. And a 1-2 pitch. It jammed Slack, but he was able to get the heel of the barrel on it. Stay alive in the count, 1-2 still.
Yeah, that one was a nice breaking ball front door, and Slack does just enough to stay alive and not let it fall into the ump's hands.
1-2 yet again. Swung on and missed by Slack. Second strikeout for Aiden Clark today. And that's now 2 away here in the top of the 7th.
And it's a big opportunity now with them not sending Harris for Clark to potentially get out without allowing a run.
We've gone through 8 outs in about the same time it went through the entire first 4 innings. Josh Lyons swings and misses at this one for strike 1. Lyon has reached base all 3 times today. He's 2 for 2, including the RBI double that tied things up back in the 6th.
The offense has started to come alive from both teams later on in this game.
Here's the 0-1. Hard hit, just through the glove of Luizzi down the third base side. 1 run scores. It's Carter Harris, and it's 3-1 Upper Deck post 14.
Oh, what a hit there from Lyon, and what a performance he has had so far today. 3 for 3, including 2 RBIs and 2 really well hit balls.
Josh Lyon has been the difference maker for Upper Deck post 14 out of Cumberland, Rhode Island. This Upper Deck team is a bit of a Rhode Island dynasty. They've won each of the last 4 Rhode Island state championships and are on the verge of keeping their regional tournament run alive, looking to play tomorrow morning at Tiverton Field. It's now Jack DeCairo. A 1-0 count for him now after the first pitch was up high for a ball. 2 runners on, runner on first and second. First is Lyon, second is Leonardo. DeCairo fouls that one back over the backstop for strike 1.
Oh, and now the importance is you just got to focus on this batter here now if you're Clark and worry about getting DeCairo out.
One count for DeCairo. Outside for ball 2.
And you can see a bit of frustration after the throw back and catch there from Clark.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. And this is a fair ball. Clark comes in to make the play over to first just in time for the third out. A bit of a swinging bunt by DeCairo. He's out at first, and that'll do it. Another insurance run comes over the plate for Upper Deck. It's 3-1 post 14. Franklin down to their final 3 outs on the MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network, presented by Campers in RV, your one-stop shop for RV sales, parts, and service.
Dean Bank congratulates the Franklin Legion team as they continue their journey towards the World Series in North Carolina. Since 1889, Dean Bank has been the community bank partner of Franklin and beyond. From checking and savings accounts to mortgages, vehicle loans, and small business loans, Dean Bank is sure to have the right product for all your financial needs. We love to hear the community say, Dean Bank is our bank. Visit deanbank.com to open your account today. Dean Bank is member FDIC, member DIF, and an equal housing lender.
Franklin Duncan is proud to support Franklin Post 75 and their journey through the American Legion Northeast Regional Tournament. With 3 convenient locations in Franklin, Duncan is your hometown stop for fresh coffee, breakfast sandwiches, their famous donuts, baked goods, and your favorite hot or iced beverages. Whether you're fueling up before the game or celebrating a big win afterward, Franklin Duncan has everything you need to keep your day running. Franklin Post 75 runs on Duncan.
Welcome back to the MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network, presented by Campers in RV, your one-stop shop for RV sales, parts, and service. Franklin Post 75 down 3-1 to Upper Deck Post 14. And Franklin down to their final 3 outs, and they got the bottom of the order trying to save the day here. Weiner, Gogan, George, although I believe Gogan may be substituted off because, remember, Ben Ellis came on to relieve him at second base. So we'll see what happens there, but it will be Weiner leading off here for Franklin.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here in this at-bat. Obviously, the bottom of the lineup hasn't had much luck so far today, But things are going to have to change if they want to stay alive, and now they need 2 runs to keep their hopes for the World Series alive.
Zach Weiner was walked in the 5th inning, but was caught stealing, trying to steal second. It is still Pat Munger, who has pitched a gem today. First pitch swung on and missed by Weiner for strike 1.
I'm not sure what his pitch count's at, but I'm sure he's going to probably go as long as he can now till he reaches that 105 mark.
At this point, his tournament is done after today. That's well outside for ball 1. Counts evened up.
And he's done his job getting out of the bases loaded jam last inning.
1-1 for Weiner. In there for strike 2.
I'll tell you, that slider's been working all day there from Munger. It's been almost unhittable.
He's been absolutely filthy all game long. Here's the 1-2. Up high for ball 2.
If you're Franklin, you just got to get runners on the bags right now, and you're not going to be too aggressive with 2 runs needed.
Here's the 2-2. In there, strike 3. He got him looking. Weiner didn't even budge. Munger with another strikeout. That's number 4 today. And it's going to be a pinch hitter in place of Joe Gogan. It is Jacoby Brown.
Yeah, it's kind of what you probably expected for them to empty out a guy from their bench.
Brown fouls it behind him for strike 1.
Let's see if... It is Henry George on deck, though.
Munger. How many times have I said this? Ahead in the count. 0-1 now. That's fouled off for strike 2. Right off the bleacher seats.
Yeah, made some good contact there, but was just late on the swing. Couldn't quite pull it in fair.
Quickly, 0-2 for Jacoby Brown. Pat Munger delivers. Swung on and missed. It's a drop third strike. Linehan picks it up. Toss over to first is well in time. Back-to-back strikeouts for Pat Munger. He's up to 5.
Yeah, that was disgusting. That changeup down low, waved over there by Jacoby Brown, and now Franklin is down to their last at bat. And so the coach
were asking for the pitch count.
Yeah, so he's at 97 right now.
So only 8 more pitches Pat Munger can throw before he has to be pulled. Or he can at least finish the at-bat, even if he goes past 105. The first pitch to Henry George is ball 1.
Yep, so that's 90. I'll start keeping track in my head now.
Here's the 1-0. Hit high. Left field. This should be it. Harris is there and makes the catch. Upper deck, post 14, comes from behind and wins it 3-1 to keep their regional tournament hopes alive. Franklin post 75 season is over here at Fitton Field in Worcester.
That was a really good effort there from Franklin. They were able to battle and get their run, but in the end, Upper Deck able to produce a few more of their own, and Munger wins the pitching battle.
Munger walks 5 batters, strikes out 5, goes the distance all 7 innings in less than 100 pitches, giving up just 1 run, which was unearned. We will be back at Fitton Field with our post-game show. Upper Deck post 14 eliminates Franklin post 75 by a score of 3-1. We'll be back on the MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network presented by Campers in RV, your one-stop shop for RV sales, parts, and service.
When it's time to celebrate, Franklin knows where to go. The Rome Restaurant. Proudly sponsoring Franklin Post 75, The Rome has been bringing friends and families together with great food and hometown hospitality for generations. They're honored to support the players, coaches, and fans who make Franklin baseball so special. From everyone at The Rome, best of luck in the tournament. The Rome Restaurant and Franklin Post 75, a winning team for Franklin. Take it home from The Rome.
Dean Bank congratulates the Franklin Legion team as they continue their journey towards the World Series in North Carolina. Since 1889, Dean Bank has been the community bank partner of Franklin and beyond. From checking and savings accounts to mortgages, vehicle loans, and small business loans, Dean Bank is sure to have the right product for all your financial needs. We love to hear the community say, Dean Bank is our bank. Visit deanbank.com to open your account today. Dean Bank is member FDIC, member DAF, and an equal housing lender.
Go Franklin Post 75 from the team at Body Fit Training Franklin Village.
Championships aren't built in a single game. They're built through hard work, consistency, and showing up every day. That's the same philosophy at Body Fit Training Fitness. With coach-led strength and conditioning classes for all fitness levels, BFT helps you train with purpose, build for the long game, and become stronger together. Train for your next decade, not just your next workout. Body Fit Training at Franklin Village. Follow us on Instagram or text our studio line to book your first class free. Proudly supporting Franklin Post 75 and the MyFM local sports network.
At Haven Hot Chicken, we're proud to be part of the Franklin community and proud to support Franklin Post 75 as they compete on the diamond. Whether you're celebrating a big win or grabbing a meal with family and friends, Haven serves up Nashville hot chicken made the right way. Always antibiotic-free, marinated in buttermilk, and cooked fresh to order with 5 levels of heat to satisfy every appetite. Best of luck to Franklin Post 75 throughout the tournament. From all of us at Haven Hot Chicken, we're cheering you on every step of the way. Haven Hot Chicken, 477 West Central Street in Franklin. Born hot, raised right. Franklin Duncan is proud to support Franklin Post 75 and their journey through the American Legion Northeast Regional Tournament. With 3 convenient locations in Franklin, Duncan is your hometown stop for fresh coffee, breakfast sandwiches, their famous donuts, baked goods, and your favorite hot or iced beverages. Whether you're fueling up before the game or celebrating a big win afterward, Franklin Duncan has everything you need to keep your day running. Franklin Post 75 runs on Duncan.
Welcome back to Fit and Field in Worcester, Massachusetts on the MyFM Local Sports and Recreation Network presented by Campers in RV, your one-stop shop for RV sales, parts, and service. It's now time for a post-game show presented by Duncan because Franklin Post 75 runs on Duncan, but unfortunately, Franklin Post 75's run is now over, losing 3-1 to Upper Deck Post 14, Dylan.
Yeah, it was a tough one, and just like yesterday, really couldn't get the offensive production going. Just one hit on the day from them. They managed to get the bases loaded in the 6th inning, but just couldn't produce what they needed to get that run across the board. And on the other hand, Upper Deck, I mean, there was one guy who had a lot of hits right there, and that was Lyon, who really came alive offensively.
If we were doing a player of the game, it would be Josh Lyon. 3 for 3, reaching base all 4 times, including the game-tying RBI double in the 6th, and then adding an insurance RBI again in the 7th. This is a game that we sped through. The first 5 innings were done in just about an hour, and then the rest of the 50 minutes that the game took up were the 6th and 7th innings. This game was a little bit of a roller coaster going through it.
It was, and you saw how quickly Mont was working, and he was gunning guys down, and then you also had Munger, who the whole game, but he ran into a couple jams, but in those first couple innings as well, he was gunning people down at the plate, and it was really a pitcher's duel to start out this game.
Yeah, Colin Mont, unfortunately going to take the loss here. He pitched 5 innings, giving up 5 hits. 2 runs, both of them earned, walking 4, striking out 2. Pat Munger earns the win. Going the distance, 7 innings, 1 run, unearned, walking 5, striking out 5. It really was a pitcher's duel, but now Upper Deck will play tomorrow morning. Yes, at 10 a.m. tomorrow, Tivnan Field. That is at Quinsigamond State Park, also in Worcester. They will face the loser of Bedford, New Hampshire, and Shrewsbury, Massachusetts. Both of those teams winning last night. So again, both of those teams safe from elimination. That game tonight at 6 p.m. One more game in between the two. It's Essex, Vermont, and Sanford, Maine. Sanford, Maine on elimination watch. If they lose, their season's done. Essex, Vermont is safe after winning yesterday.
Yes. So yeah, no matter if Essex loses that game, they do still stay alive. For Sanford, though, it's a do or die game for them. And in this game, Upper Deck stays alive. Their backs were against the wall, and Munger came out, and despite the couple jams, the coach trusted in him to get out of them, and he does exactly that. Finishes the day on 99 pitches, and everything was working for him. particularly his slider today was absolutely phenomenal.
It was, and he's the reason why Upper Deck Post 14 is fighting on to live another day. Unfortunately, with Franklin's elimination from this tournament, that's going to do it for us at MyFM 101.3 covering this tournament. We'll be covering stories and other game recaps on MyFM today, but in terms of broadcasting games, we won't be here anymore. That's going to do it for us here. So, for Dylan Patemry, our producer, Ty McCormick, camera operator, Brady Fontaine, this is Andrew McCarthy saying so long from Fitton Field on the campus of the College of the Holy Cross in Worcester. Final score, Upper Deck Post 14 3, Franklin Post 75 1. Have a good day, everybody.
Every season, new stories are written. A freshman gets her first varsity start. A senior scores his final touchdown. A community rallies behind the kid who wears their town's name across their chest. When your business sponsors the MyFM Media Local Sports Network, you help make these moments possible, and you help shine a light on these athletes who represent the best of our hometowns.
In the shotgun right now is Brousseau with two running backs near him. Brousseau is going to look to throw. He'll fire it deep down the field. He's got a man open, and it's caught on the run to the 30, to the 25, to the 20. Still going to the 15 with a man on his back, and he's taken down finally.
Back up top for Antonio, 15 on the shot clock. Working the ball to O'Neal. Grady O'Neal pulls the three from the opposite side. It's just as good.
One man in motion, the handoff to Buentello. He lost the football. The ball's in the end zone. It's recovered in the end zone.
Kelly Logan, low zone goal line, pops down in front, tip play, and they score! Max Kraus ties it up!
Trouble with the snap again, it's fumbled, and Baypath recovers it at the 34-yard line.
Which they do so perfectly right to Jamie Valarelli. He's been all over the ice. Just the first minute of this contest, makes a nice move going towards the goal. Backhand in front, they score!
Now dish down low to O'Neal, out to the top, Consigli, straightaway three, it's good! They finally hit their first one, and it's Consigli, 23-19.
Trying to get out was the Beavers, but it's intercepted. Ethan Oliva couldn't get it out. Quick shot, they score! Blake Hannon with an absolute snipe in the high slot. The deadlock is broken, it's 1-0 Littleton.
As now they're pounding in the red zone. They're going to go ahead and hand this one off to Weber, who tries to chug his way along, breaks a couple tackles, he's still plowing through, dives into the end zone, touchdown, Panthers!
Support the teams, celebrate the athletes, and stay atop of the mind with thousands of passionate local families who love our coverage. Join the businesses that invest in our community's future. Visit myfmdigital.com to book a meeting today.